Well, good afternoon, race fans, ladies and gentlemen of all ages, and welcome to the original family fun track here at Hudson, New Hampshire, the Hudson International Speedway. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. There's a slight chance of participation in the air, but a 100% chance of fun here today at Hudson International. On behalf of the track owner, Ben Bazowski, your general manager, Steve Grant, and all of us here at the track, my name, as always, is John Espernette, the voice of the Hudson International Speedway. I'll be up here all day calling most of the racing action. NEMA lights are in town. Today we also have a $1,500 to win 40-lap main event for the Northeast Auto Import Late Models. The Jeremy Decourcy Stand Up to Cancer Pure Stock Memorial Race, 40 laps for them. NHS TRA Ground Pound and Modifieds, and the Granite State Indoor Gun Range 6-shooters, all here at the High Banks today. Getting ready for qualifying right now, as you can see on the flag stand, the beautiful NEMA official shirts walking around Hudson International Speedway today. And it is my pleasure to hand the mic over to Mr. Pete Falcone, the voice of the NEMA Midgets.
Well, thank you, John, very much on behalf of the Northeastern Midget Association. Our 71st year of awesome open-wheel racing. You can always find more about NEMA online at nemaracing.com. The longest-running touring division of race cars in the Northeast, the NEMA Midgets. Today, the NEMA Lights are on the program to run the Jim O'Brien Memorial Race. Always a big event every year, and it'll be a 50-lap feature. A lot of extra incentive, a lot of extra awards that go along with the NEMA Light Jim O'Brien Memorial Race. A special promotion for the fans here too, which we're going to tell you about. You get a chance to win $100 with these NEMA Lights. Someone in the grandstands is going to win that. I'll tell you how we're going to do that after our first heat, because you'll have a chance to possibly pick a winner of the main event, win $100. So we'll get into that. And the folks watching at home today on Nastrovision, those of you that are following the NEMA Lights, make sure you send in a message with which team you are cheering for today. And out of all those entries, one winner will be picked and a team will win an extra $100. So a couple of chances to win, both with the fans and extra incentive for the crews here today for the NEMA Midgets. As we come into the program here this afternoon, it is the fourth event for the NEMA Lights. It was supposed to be the fifth event, but we were rained out last night at the Star Speedway. Our most recent winner happened last Saturday night at the New London Waterford Speed Bowl. Chase Locke in the Seymour Performance Products Locke Crane Services number one was the winner at Waterford for the NEMA Lights. Before that, we raced the Memorial Day weekend at Lee USA Speedway. Kyle Valeri picked up his very first main event win ever for the NEMA Lights. That was at the Lee Speedway on Memorial Day weekend. And we opened at Monadnock back on the 6th of May, and Danny Cugini was the winner of that. We'll see all of those drivers in action, and as a matter of fact, the cars are rolling out onto the track for heat number one for the NEMA Lights, the first of two NEMA qualifying races. And here's the way they will line up. Scheduled to go on the pole in this one is the number 94. This is Tiana Kibbe. She is from Fairfield, Connecticut, the Optrel Welding Claim Specialist, number 94. Starting outside of the front row is the 55, Drew Eldridge from North Chelmsford, Massachusetts. The Eldridge & Sons Trucking, number 55 for Drew Eldridge. Inside second row, the 59, Braden Egan from Ashford, Connecticut. AG Home Improvement, S&S Recycling, the sponsors on that car. And alongside of him, the number 28, Mike Bernasiglio from Long Island, New York. Ron Konkama, New York, to be exact. The Venato Properties, Checker One Manufacturing, Parker's Pumping, number 28. Next up is the number 10. This is driven by Avery Store out of Assonet, Massachusetts. The Parker's Pub, Elliott's Custom Trailers, Brown Brothers sponsored number 10. One of the two Parker brothers entries here this afternoon. Of course, that number 10 driven by Avery Store. Avery is last year's NEMA Midget champion and does double duty throughout the season in the NEMA Midgets and the NEMA Lights. 21, the famous Scrivani, number 21 for Joey Bailey from Monroe Township, New Jersey. 17, Kyle Valeri. Valeri Construction and Cape Cod Aggregates, the sponsors on that car. 61, Matt O'Brien out of Wilmington, Massachusetts. Matt O'Brien in the 61. And Isaiah Newcomb making a start in the Cabral family, number 35. Regular runner in the SK Light Modifieds and legend cars out here with the NEMA Lights today. 8 laps for the qualifying heat. Green flag. Side by side for the lead, and Tiana Kibbe gets the jump. Here comes Braden Egan in the 59. Egan down on the inside gets around Eldridge, and Egan goes to second, giving chase to Tiana Kibbe. They're starting to break away. Just as I say that, the 21 of Joey Bailey works the inside. Bailey goes to third, and there goes the 28 of Mike Perniciglio to fourth. Up front, about to become a 3-car battle for the lead. Joey Bailey looking for an opening to get alongside the 59 of Braden Egan. In that battle for second spot, there's Bailey's opportunity right there. Door is open and he drives down low to make the pass and goes to second. Egan back to third. Perniciglio fourth. Avery Storr rounds out the top 5. Avery now putting the moves on Mike Perniciglio. While the door's open, Kyle Valeri thought he'd stick a nose in there, but couldn't get it done. Perniciglio holds on to the 5th spot, then Valeri for 6th. 2 laps to go, quickly clipping them off here as Tiana Kibbe has led it the whole way. Tiana Kibbe in the number 94. Coming around to see the white flag, and 1 more lap to go. Kibbe was fast in practice today, and she's backing it up with a strong run here in heat number 1 as the checkered flag goes in the air, and Tiana Kibbe wins it. Joey Bailey for second. Avery Storr gets up for third. Kyle Valeri fourth. Braden Egan fifth. And just outside the top 5, the 28 of Mike Perniciglio and Isaiah Newcomb in the number 35. That's the way they run in heat number 1 for the NEMA Lights. Now, we said that we had a special promotion as part of the Jim O'Brien Memorial race here this afternoon, and that is a chance for you to win $100. So keep an eye out, because you're going to see right now Dennis O'Brien from the O'Brien family get out there, and it's going to be shooting off some balls in the air, and he will be shooting the numbered balls into the grandstands right after this event, as a matter of fact. And if you happen to catch the ball that is the number of the feature winner, you could win $100. If you hold that ball, you'll be invited to come down to the start-finish line. Here's the lineup for heat number 2. On the pole, the number 3, Chris Vos from Groversville, New York. Outside of him will be the number 8 for Braden Egan, or rather Ethan Dion. Dion in the number 8 from Oakdale, Connecticut. 47 grids next. That's Randy Cabral. Cabral from Kingston, Mass. And the number 30, the dangerous one, Paul Scally from Raynham, Mass. in the number 30. 53, Dylan Kutu in the red number 53. The 16 alongside is Danny Cugini from Marshfield, Mass. The Jim O'Brien and Sons Engineering number 16. The 1 is Chase Locke from Chester, New Hampshire. And the 20, Albie Ovitt from Raymond. Green flag. Heat number 2 is underway. And Chris Vos leaps to the lead. Trouble for Dylan Kutu at the start. He gets it refired, but it looks like he's going to be in trouble and bring out the caution flag. Kutu in trouble in that number 53 right at the start. Looks like it might be a flat tire on that number 53, so unable to continue, and he's going to have to go on the hook. Word is the right front is flat on that number 53. So he didn't get a lap in on heat number 2 for the Nima Lights. Chris Vos had jumped to the lead. Vos, the Groversville, New York driver. The 8, Ethan Dion. Dion from Oakdale, Connecticut, the BMW Marine Montville Florist, number 8. 47, that orange car, that's Randy Cabral, the multi-time champion in the NEMA Midgets. He was the winner of the NEMA portion of the Shane Hammond Memorial Race last Saturday night at the Waterford Speed Bowl. Randy dominated his main event to win that race in memory of his good friend Shane Hammond. The 30, Paul Scally. Scally from Raynham, Massachusetts. We call him Paul Dangerous Scally. Actually a name that Randy Cabral gave him. Paul, a multi-time winner in both the NEMA Lights and the NEMA Midgets, out there in the number 30. 16 is Danny Cugini. He was the winner of the opening event for 2023 at the Monadnock Speedway back on the 6th of May. He is aboard the Jim O'Brien and Sons Engineering number 16 and having a good run this season. Of course, this is one he would love to have, as, of course, the patriarch of the O'Brien family, Jim O'Brien, memorialized in this event here this afternoon. The number 1 is Chase Locke. We mentioned he was the winner of the NEMA Lights last Saturday night at the new London Waterford Speed Bowl aboard the Seymour Performance Products Locke Crane Services number 1. Of course, Chase, with experience not just here in the NEMA Lights but in super modified racing as well, has taken to the lights again this year in the Seymour number 1. And he won in dominating fashion last Saturday night at the Speed Bowl. The 20 is Albie Ovitt from Raymond, New Hampshire. Albie, who could probably drive this race track blindfolded, as a lot of the tracks we visit, doing a full-time job in the number 20, the Parker Brothers car. He's out there in the number 20, another one of the drivers that was fast in practice earlier today. So the track is clear, and we get ready for the restart. Got them doubled up with just one lap complete. Here they come. Green flag. Vos is back in the lead, and now it's a battle between Randy Cabral and Danny Cugini. Cabral pushes up the racetrack a little bit. That opens the bottom for Cugini, so he goes to second. Cabral for third, but being hounded by Chase Locke, and almost 3 wide there as Locke made the pass, shuts the door, but Albie Ovitt is there. Albie kind of keeps his foot in the door so it can't close completely and makes the pass to go to third. Locke is back to fourth, and here's a battle for the lead. Danny Cugini down on the inside in the number 16. Cugini goes to the lead and starts to drive away. Here comes Albie Ovitt, going to try and chase him down. Ovitt gets around Chris Vos and goes to second. Vos to third. Chase Locke is fourth, and Paul Scally rounds out the top 5. It's all Cugini right now out front. And just a couple of laps to go. Albie Ovitt going as hard as he can. Gains some ground going into the turn, but he's only got a lap to get it done as they race through that first and second turn. Checkered flag is in the air, and Danny Cugini will hold on to win. Then the number 20 of Albie Ovitt for second. Chris Vos for third. Chase Locke fourth. And fifth goes to Paul Scally in the number 30. That's the way they run in heat number 2. They are now qualified for their Jim O'Brien Memorial main event of 50 laps coming up later on in the program. In fact, the NEMA Lights will be the final feature event here this afternoon.
Well, thank you very much, Pete. Thank you very much from all of the staff at the New England Midget Association for making their way here with a healthy field of cars on a Sunday afternoon. Father's Day Sunday here at the High Banks. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll have your opportunity to meet the drivers behind those cars. They will have an autograph session during the NHSTRA Modified Time Trialing event to the right side of the broadcasting booth, right at the top side of the grandstands. Right now, Granite State Indoor Gun Range 6-shooter qualifying on the field. Taking them off from the pin, the Pioneer Automotive MTM flooring number 25, New Hampshire for Michael Yetton. Upstairs of him, the 17X, the Shorey Trucking sponsored automobile. That's good for Tristan Bodwell. It's a Miller boy, row 2. Steve Miller Jr. on the inside of Dad. What a better Father's Day to have Dad up top of you on row number 2 to start the heat race for the Granite State Indoor Gun Range 6-shooter. Steve Miller Sr. in the 68. Mike Comtois in the 52 NH. Garrett Berry, the 51, the 77 of Robert Taylor. Green flag is out, 8-lap qualifier for the Granite State Indoor Gun Range 6-shooters. Off of turn 2, it's a drag race for the second spot. They're all going to chase Mike Yetton in the 25 New Hampshire to lap 1. Steve Miller Jr. going to advance up to the second position now. Bodwell hung up to dry on the outside groove. Car number 17X going to try to clear the 68 machine of Miller Sr. for the third spot. Miller throws it back in on the inside. Single file through the field. Michael Yetton, Steve Miller Jr., Tristan Bodwell, Steve Miller Sr., and now Mike Comtois sideways in car number 52. 3 laps going to be clicked in the books this time by the 25 New Hampshire has led them from the pin since the drop of the green flag. Got a big win 1 week ago at the Monadnock Speedway. Trying to pick up a win here this afternoon on Father's Day Sunday at the Hudson International Speedway. Battle is looking to come on again for the second spot now. Tristan Bodwell trying to find some daylight underneath the 79 machine. Single file, we still head off of the number 4 corner. It's the Mohawk man, Michael Yetton in car number 25, New Hampshire, setting the pace here. Trevor Young in the Judd's Automotive number 37 machine has bumped himself up into a top 5 spot with 2 laps to go. 2 to go for the Granite State Indoor Gun Range 6-shooters. Best battle on the raceway for the second spot. Miller Jr. washes up in turn 2. Here comes Tristan Bodwell behind the wheel of car number 17X. White flag is out. Quarter-mile trip to go. Bodwell peeks underneath the Thibodeau Racing 79 once again. Down the back straightaway for the final time in 6-shooter qualifying. Checkered flag is going to come out. He'll lead them flag to flag. It is Michael Yetton in car number 25, New Hampshire. Second spot will go to Steve Miller Jr. in car number 79. Tristan Bodwell with a hard-fought third spot in car number 17X. Steve Miller Sr. in the 68. And Trevor Young in car number 37. But there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Heat race winner in the 25 New Hampshire, the MTM flooring sponsored ride. Michael Yetton nails down the qualifier. And now on the Speedway, qualifier number 1. They're going to be racing for $1,500 later on this afternoon from Catco Recycling. And today, Bumpy's Auto Service has come on board to pay an extra $100 for 2nd through 6th place. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the best support division across the 50 states of America. It's the Northeast Auto Import Late Models. 10-lap qualifiers, and here's how they'll roll down. Leading them off the pin, car number 8 out of Nashua, New Hampshire is good for Jay Sousa. And up top of him, it's the 88 machine out of Tingsboro, Massachusetts, the Lee Vinyl Excavating sponsored Chevy for Johnny Rocket, John Vinyl. The Grouch, Oscar LeClaire out of Hudson, New Hampshire, in car number 45 will grid on the inside of row number 2. And to his upstairs, car number 33, Junior. That's good for Coach Clement, Billy Clement Jr. Winner 1 week ago here at the Hudson High Banks in the Morton Builders D&L Auto sponsored number 57. Baldwin Chassis on the deck lid for the Billerica, Massachusetts driver, Justin Beecher. Car number 81 is back, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Matthews Enterprise All Trades Contracting sponsored 81 machine for Andrew Brousseau. And out back, car number 7. Gonna be starting caboose here in heat race number 1. 10 laps the distance. The 7 machine. Catco Recycling on the hood. The driver is Johnny Belisle. The 8 and the 88. Gonna take them from the front row to the green flag, this time by Matt Johnson on the flag stand. Your chief starter, ready to let them loose. Coming to the Bumpy's Auto restart zone, Jay Sousa, Johnny Rocket, toe-to-toe to the green flag. Dead heat battle down in turns 1 and 2. The whole field remains as they did down the front straightaway. Coming around to the first lap, who's going to lead them? Inside lane's looking good. Outside lane is charging to the stripe. It's Johnny Vinyl at the line. Vinyl peeks the nose of the 88 machine out front. Jay Sousa not going down without a fight. Riding the bottom side of Hudson International Speedway. Coming to lap 2. Who's it gonna be? Too close to call. Vinyl by the scoring on the outside, headed by an inch. Coach Clement and car number 33, Junior, hanging back now with the 81 machine. The All Trades Contracting Chevrolet of Andrew Brousseau. Side by side since the drop of the green for the lead here down the back straightaway we head. 4 laps in the book, 6 laps remain, and John Vinyl gonna clear for the race lead. Billy Clement Jr. gonna follow soon on the inside. Andrew Brousseau sees the traitor rolling. He'll hook his cart to the 33 Junior. Last week's feature winner, Justin Beecher, the Cabana Boy in the 57 will follow suit, and the 8 machine will go from the pin to the 5th spot in 2 laps. Jay Sousa got hung out to dry in car number 8. He'll finally have some time to settle down in line, and the battle starts to heat up for the race lead now. Coach Clement, Billy Clement Jr., no stranger to victory lane here at Hudson International, will dive down to the bottom side for the number 1 spot. Can he keep the fender underneath? Down the front straightaway, trying the bottom side once again of the only podium's 88 of Johnny Rocket. Best seat in the house to the 81 machine of Andrew Brousseau. 2 laps remain at the start-finish line. Popsicle sticks are in the air, and they're side by side down into turn number 1. Drag race down the back straightaway. Inside lane is rolling. It's the Clement Trucking 33 Junior of Billy Clement. One around in turn 3. It's Johnny Belisle with the white flag out. What flag's gonna wave first? He ducks down to the inside. Yellow flag is out. And they all miss him. Yellow flag is out. Not sure if that'll be yellow checkers or just yellow. What a good race at the front side of a 10-lap heat race, ladies and gentlemen. John Vinyl and Jay Sousa had a good side-by-side battle for 6 or 7 laps there. Vinyl got by, led himself a couple of laps, and all of a sudden came the 33 Junior of Billy Clement Jr. Clement Jr. and his father, Bill Clement Sr., have been racing this caliber race car for quite some time. Have themselves a couple of bad, fast race cars and are a strong force to be reckoned with week in and week out here. And anywhere they show up, their other car is here today, ladies and gentlemen, being driven by none other than downtown Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown driving the 3 in honor of Mighty Mike Lewis. He'll be back here next week. The 25th annual, ladies and gentlemen, the 25th annual Mighty Mike Lewis Memorial next Sunday on the 25th. I wouldn't be surprised if we have 35 to 45 of these here late models in the paddock on the 25th. 1 o'clock start times. Make sure you go home, tell your friends, tell your relatives, tell your pets. Crossing them up in one, ladies and gentlemen, say this one with me. Green, white checker to end out heat race number 1 for the Northeast Auto Import late models. John Vinyl in the 88 still has yet to pick up a feature win behind the wheel of a late model. Outside of him, Billy Clement Jr. with many a win to his names. They're going to do the dance off of turn 4, off of the Bumpy's Auto Restart Zone. We come back to green. Off of the corner, it's Billy Clement Jr. on the outside. He's got Justin Beecher, last week's winner, trying to take 2 spots away, and he does at the line. White flag is out. Beecher rolls from 4th to 2nd and looking hungry for more. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Heat race number 1 coming to the checkered flags. And there he is, Coach Clement. Billy Clement Jr. in the Clement Trucking number 33 Jr. nails down heat race number 1. Justin Beecher, Johnny Rocket, Andrew Brousseau, and the Grouch, Oscar Leclerc, round out the top 5. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. A hard-fought win. Billy Clement Jr. nails down the first of 2 10-lap qualifiers. Heat race number 2 on the Speedway now. Leading him out, the driver hails out of Kingston, New Hampshire. Mr. Consistency drives car number 07 off the pin. It's good for Mike Williams. Outside of him, the 360 Design, Streeter Construction, Marsh Brothers Deli sponsored 55 machine out of Canaan, New Hampshire. Welcome, Robbie Streeter. Row number 2 on the inside, the L&L Fab Moore and Engine Services sponsored number 30. The driver hails out of Nashua, New Hampshire. It's good for the former Youth Division champion here at Hudson International Speedway, Andrew Morin, on the inside of row number 2. Outside of him, the driver out of Groton, Massachusetts. In the Bomaco sponsored Chevy, the O2 machine, multi-time track champion here at Hudson International Speedway in many caliber of cars. Welcome, Jeff Rollins. Rollins in the O2, also the defending champion here at Hudson International Speedway in our premier division, the ground pound and NHSTRA Modifieds, which he also has that ride here today. One of the only drivers on the property pulling double duty. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, car number 3. Running that number in honor of Mighty Michael, who is here for the next couple of weeks. The driver hails out of Amherst, New Hampshire, in the Clement Trucking sponsored number 3. This is downtown Kevin Brown. Final car on the field is going to be the 33 Vermont, the JAE Auto Body sponsored ride for Matt Sonhalter. Three heats. I cannot stress that one enough. That's always a good time here at Hudson Speedway. Second of 3 10-lap qualifiers for the best support division across the 50 states of America. The Northeast Auto Import late model set to come to life off of turn number 4 this time. Mike Williams, Robbie Streeter see the green. They're underway. They run down into turn number 1. It's Mike Williams leading the charge down the back straightaway. Canaan, New Hampshire's Robbie Streeter settles back for second, and keep an eye off the 01 machine of Jeff Rollins. Rollins coming off a big win at the Teddy Bear Pools $1,000 to win race at the Monadnock Speedway just 1 week ago. Single file, we head down the front straightaway now to lap number 2. Former Star Speedway, strictly stock champion Mike Williams leads him down the back. Robbie Streeter, the Streeter Construction Chevy second, now feeling on the pressure. Here comes the Petrie Construction number 02, the Groton Rocket, Jeff Rollins. Andrew Morin, Kevin Brown, and Matt Sonhalter make up third, fourth, and fifth. Or fourth, fifth, and sixth as we have a three-car breakaway now. Williams, Streeter, Rollins in the 02, going to take the halfway mark this time. 4 laps down, 4 laps remain for the 07 machine. Here comes Robbie Streeter now. He wants to lead a couple of laps here. Out of the way, pal, it's my turn, says the 55 of Streeter. Williams will lead him back to the stripe in the 01. Rubbing elbows down through 1 and 2. We're side by side down the back straightaway. Streeter on the inside of Williams. Rollins right there, and don't count out Andrew Morin in the 30. Side by side now for second. Jeff Rollins will follow the train of Robbie Streeter underneath the 07 machine of Mike Williams with 2 laps to go at the start-finish line. Robbie Streeter. The Taters Tot-sponsored Chevrolet going to take the white flag this time by. 4-car breakaway now as they're battling out back. Kevin Brown, Matt Sonhalter make contact. Look at the move of Jeff Rollins. Throws it in and hopes it lands. Doesn't quite do it the way he wants in the 0-2. Rollins still trying the outside, but it's all Robbie Streeter. They follow the 55, the Marsh Brothers Deli 55 to the checkered flag. Robbie Streeter will pick up heat race number 2. Rollins, Williams, Morin, and Brown finish out the top 5. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Robbie Streeter out of Canaan, New Hampshire, picks up the second of 3 10-lap qualifiers here. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, big shout out to Catco Recycling, making the purse $1,500 for the late model winner here later this afternoon after 40 laps. And another big shout out to Bumpy's Auto Service, putting up $500 to be spread through from 2nd through 6th. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place tonight will get an extra $100 courtesy of Bumpy's Auto Service. So thank you so much to Catco Recycling. Thank you so much to Bumpy's Auto Service for helping us put on shows like this. Not only for the racers that you see here for the money, but for all the fans here to see the show we're putting on. Heat race number 3 is on the Speedway, 10 laps the distance, and leading them out, the defending track champion. Car number 33, the Precise Industries Snow Work Gagnon Industries sponsored ride for Chuck Daney. Outside of him with over 50 credited feature wins to his name, car number 66K. Out of Haverhill, Massachusetts, the Schroeder & Sons sponsored ride for the captain, Chris Schroeder. Car number 08 will grid on the inside of row number 2. Already has one win to his name here in 2023. It's good for Milton Duran, the Renfrew Motorsports sponsored ride. Trevor Rock in the Spalding 79 will grid 4th. Kenny Scott in the 72. Chris Riondo in the 4. And Travis Sykes in car number 41 bring up the back. Green flag is out at the start-finish line. 10 laps the distance here. Final qualifier of the day for the Northeast Auto Import late models. Rubbing elbows for the race lead already. Daney will lead him around on the inside groove in car number 33W. The captain stuck on the outside. Milton Duran will fill the hole, and they're battling back for 4th now. Chris Riondo in the 4. Chris Riondo in the 4 will make his way to the bottom side of the captain. He'll follow the train through the top 3. Side by side for the 3rd spot now. It's Daney, Duran, Riondo now going to feel the pressure on the bottom side. Here comes Schroeder trying to make a hot move. On the Lightning chassis number 4 machine, Riondo will shut the door and keep the 3rd spot at the line. Halfway home, this time at the start-finish line. 5 laps down, 5 laps remain. Riondo's to the outside of Duran for the number 2 spot. Way up the racetrack, not going to make it stick. Bounces off the outside wall and still back in it in the Lightning chassis, number 4. Chris Riondo trying to climb his way to the front side of the field here in the 10-lap qualifier. Chuck Daney, the defending division track champion here at Hudson International Speedway, shows him to lap 7. Duran, one of the top dogs here in car number 08 in 2023, now feeling the pressure again from a driver who's making his 2023 debut here at the High Banks. That's Chris Riondo, the Weasel they call him. Side by side for the 5th spot now. Kenny Scott on the inside of Trevor Rock with the white flag out at the front of the field. Chuck Daney has led him since the drop of the green. This is the one that counts. Who's going to lead the final lap? Kenny Scott is sideways out of turn 2. Gathers it back up for the 5th spot. Checkered flag is out up front, and it's Chuck Daney nailing down the 3rd qualifier. Milton Duran will take 2nd. The Weasel, Chris Riondo, in the 4 will take the 3rd spot. Chris Schroeder in the 66, and the Caveman, Kenny Scott, in the 72. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the defending track champion and heat race number 3 winner, Chuck Daney, in car number 33. Qualifying rounds rolling out on the speedway now. 8 laps the distance for qualifying action. This is the MLM Diagnostic Services Pure Stock Division. 40 laps this afternoon as we run the Stand Up to Cancer Jeremy Decourcy Memorial Race. On the pole, car number 40 is good for Layla Daniels. And up top of her will be the 4 machine, the 603 Metalworks number 4. That's good for Colton Martin out of Claremont. Jake Snide, a newcomer, in car number 87, the O'Days Garage sponsored entry, will start on the inside of the following set row with Jimmy Selman in car number 01 making his yearly debut here at Hudson International. He'll grid 4th. Nolan McClay drives car number 14. The Anchored Creations number 14 machine will start on the inside of Chris Conroy's number 78, and the defending track champion out of Draken, Massachusetts, will start from the back here in the first of 2 qualifiers, and that's Caden Fassett in the 03. Coming off the corner, green flag is out, and we are underway. Good start on the outside from Colton Martin in car number 4. Whoa, problems in turn 2. Layla Daniels up on the wheel, almost collects the 01 of Jimmy Zellman. They all keep it straight. Colton Martin out in his own area code, all ready to lap 1. Nolan McClay will duck down to the bottom side of Chris Conroy in car number 78. The defending division champion, Caden Fassett, right there in car number 03. Fassett last year in his first year of competition ever behind the wheel of a race car won the division championship. I believe the driver is 14, 15 years of age, and he's knocking on the back door now of Chris Conroy in car number 78. Halfway home at the line for young Colton Martin in car number 4, the State Farm Brody Ledoux sponsored entry. The Anchored Creations number 14 of Nolan McClay starting to reel him in little by little. Does he have enough time? 3 to go at the start-finish line. Martin, McClay, Conroy, Fassett, and Zellman run through the top 5. Two laps remain this time. Popsicle sticks are in the air. Will we have a barn burner during the last couple laps as Nolan McClay starts to reel in for the race lead? The battle really starts to heat up now for the third spot. Caden Fassett almost got to the inside of Chris Conroy. Eyes up front, ladies and gentlemen. Wide flag is out, and Nolan McClay in car number 14 has reeled in your race leader, Colton Martin. Fassett down to the inside will take the third spot at the white flag. Checkered flag is out this time. At the line, it's Colton Martin in car number 4. The Claremont, New Hampshire native in car number 4, Colton Martin nails it down. Nolan McClay second, Caden Fassett third. Chris Conroy in the 78 and the 01 machine of Jimmy Zellman. Chris Conroy in the 78 pulls up alongside the 03 machine to have a couple after-race words. They'll head pit side and get ready for later on this afternoon. 40 laps the distance. The second annual Smoke Jr. Stand Up to Cancer Jeremy Decourcy Memorial Race. Heat race number 2 gonna hit the speedway now. Starting on the pole, already has one win. There are 2 wins to his name here at Hudson International Speedway in 2023. That's good for Chris Davis. And outside of him, the Cadco Recycling number 21X. That's good for Mackenzie Belisle. Scotty Blanchard in car number 56 MA, the only podium-sponsored ride, will grid third alongside the 1 New Hampshire front runner from the Claremont Motorsports Park. This is Carlos Grenier. The O'Days Garage, sponsor number 38 machine, will grid on the inside of the following set row, and that's good for the Ogre, Jim Rhodes. He'll line up next to the 8 machine, newcomer to this division, Sean Lantis. And runner-up in the points 1 year ago will start shotgun on the field. The 65 Vermont out of Springfield, Vermont, the Springfield Mobile Paws Derby Shop sponsored Shaggin' Wagon. That is Doug Nelson. Crossing them up and won this time by 8-lap qualifier. Qualifier number 2 for the MLM Diagnostic Services Pure Stock Division. Chris Davis in the 16 on the inside. Mackenzie Belisle hanging back up top in car number 21X. The green flag is out and we are underway. Real good start from the 16 of Chris Davis. Shot out of a cannon. He'll go down the back straightaway. Battles on for second. Carlos Grenier will take the inside groove away from the 21X of Mackenzie Belisle. He'll have it at the line. Ogre Racing, the 38 machine. Jim Rhodes in the O'Days Garage sponsored entry will take the 4th spot away. And now Doug Nelson to the inside of Sean Lantis. Lantis will slam the door shut in car number 8. Major right front tire rub happening on that 8 machine of Lantis. Couple more laps, that rubber's gonna go down. Keep an eye on the 38 machine. Jim Rhodes hungry for a 3rd place finish here. Trying the outside, way sideways down through 1 and 2. Trying all he can do to catch the back door of the Cadco Recycling 21X of Mackenzie Belisle. Halfway home at the start-finish line that time by. Halfway home. Lantis will retire the 8 machine. He'll head to the pits. The 16 of Chris Davis running away with the qualifier here. 5 laps in. There'll be 2 laps to go at the start-finish line. popsicle sticks in the air from your chief starter, Matt Johnson. Davis out for a Sunday cruise here in car number 16. Carlos Grenier, wicked comfortable in second spot. White flag is out, a quarter-mile trip to go for the 16 machine of Chris Davis. For the final time in pure stock qualifying, Chris Davis will come around and take the checkered flag. Carlos Grenier second. Mackenzie Belisle third. Fourth will go to the Ogre, Jim Rhodes. Dougie Nelson in the 65 Vermont will round out your top five. Up next will be time trial style qualifying for the NHS DR8 ground pound and modifieds. Ladies and gentlemen, the stars and cars, the drivers themselves of the NEMA Lights, the Northeastern Midget Association, are up to the right side of the announcing booth. They should be having an autograph session during the time trials. They are there right now, so make your way up there. They got markers. They're ready to sign your forehead at your leisure. And up next, we're going to set the lineup for today's 30-lap main event for our premier division here at the original Family Fun track. This is the NHS DR8 ground pound and open wheel modifieds. Track crew going to walk out and check the surface to make sure everything is good to go before we let them out. They'll get 2 laps around the high bank quarter mile, and the best of 2 will set their time for this afternoon's 30-lap main event.
Hey, Mark. Left side or top? Top. Oh, okay. I like it though. Okay. Is he watching like F1 or something? What's he watching? There's a guy like 2 rows in front of me that's watching.
Making sure the track is 100% good to go.
Some other race.
If anybody here in the stands or watching live on NastraVision.com noticed, we were just a couple minutes behind post time, as during practice we did have one of the modifieds have engine failure and put oil down around the entire racetrack, I think 2 times. So we had to pick that up a couple minutes behind schedule, trying to make sure that everything is good to go. All our ducks are in a row, and we are looking set to let them out. NHS area modified time trials making their way out onto the speedway, and here they are. First driver to take time, the Pleasant View sponsored number 62 machine. This will be his second event in an open wheel modified, a former outlaw sportsman champion here at Hudson International. The driver hails out of Sterling, Massachusetts. This is the Warhammer, Todd Warren on the clock. Green flag is out, and now he's on the clock, I should say. 1 warm-up lap for each modified, and then they'll take the green. Warren gonna come around to click in the first set time. 13.589, the first set time around. 13.589, can he better the second trip around? Todd Warren gonna come around to the checkered flag. 13.413. 13.413 is the time to beat so far.
There's the next car. Come on, car. Let's go.
Pulling double duty here this afternoon. You've already seen him qualify as late model here this afternoon. The O2 machine, the RideMore.com sponsored entry, the defending Hudson International Speedway NHS DR8 modified champion out of Groton, Massachusetts. This is Jeff Rollins. Rollins coming around. He's on the clock now. Rollins, also the 2018 New Hampshire State NASCAR Division I points champion. He's going to come around to click in lap number 1 for the O2 machine. Top of the boards, 13.147. 13.147 is good for the top. And Jeff Rollins will see if he can better his time on lap 2. 13.001. So close to the 12-second bracket. Jeff Rollins with a 13.001 has quick time so far. The J&J Trucking entry. Car number 69 is back. The NHSDRA Modifieds. He ran last year in the SK Lights down at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Ended up on a billboard. We don't have billboards in that section of the track here at Hudson International Speedway, so this is Josh Carey. Always has a smile on his face in the pit areas. This is a guy that just wants to race. Getting all the heat he can, scrubbing up the tires. Not going green until this time by. Here we go. Gonna let the bald eagle scream. Green flag is out. Carey's on the clock. What can Josh Carey do with car number 69? White flag is out. He's sideways off the corner. 13.355. That's good for the second spot. 13.355 for the JJ Trucking 69. Can he better the second trip around? 13.175. Better the second trip around, still in the second spot to Jeff Rollins, 13.001, which is still the quick time to beat. Making his way out on the speedway, the junior competitor, the J.R. Hudson Horse Transportation, Victory Lane Horse Stable sponsored ride. This is Jesse Jacobatis out of Brockton, Massachusetts. Jacobatis, always a strong competitor when it comes to time trial style qualifying. Gonna take his green flag this time by. On the clock is Jesse Jacobatis. On the warm-up lap, a 12.948. His warm-up lap put him on the top of the boards. 12.834 on the first lap around. Absolutely on rails like a slot car. Comes to the checkered flag. And he does it. 12.828. 3 laps around. He betters each time. 2/10 faster than the field. A 12.828. And Jesse Jacobatis has the top spot. Now on the speedway, ladies and gentlemen, the 29, a hometown boy out of Hudson, New Hampshire, the MLM Diagnostic Services sponsored entry for Martial Law, Mike Marshall. On the clock now, Mike Marshall in the 29. First of 2 laps to be sent this time. 12.828 is the time to beat. 13.621, good for 5th thus far. 13.621. $13.501, still 5th on the boards. Mike Marshall in the 29. Still 2 more competitors to take time, and here comes the Whitewater Plastic sponsored entry. The Garrett's Carpentry number 2. Second place here in the 2023 Choppy Baldwin Memorial. This is Tyler Leary. Going on the clock this time by Green flag is out for the Triton Automotive sponsored 2. Does anyone have anything for the 12.828 second mark? 12.057 the first time around. Checkered flag is out. The final time set by Tyler Leary. The first trip was faster. A 13.057 will settle it for the 2 machine of Tyler Leary. Third on the boards, Jesse Jagabatis has quick time thus far. Jeff Rollins, Tyler Leary, Josh Carey, Todd Warren, and Mike Marshall is how they roll down. Making his way on the speedway now, the Zielinski Heating and Cooling number 24 machine. Had a real valiant effort in his first modified race, getting a third place finish in the Chobby Baldwin Memorial. This is Scott Zielinski. Going on the clock this time by. Green flag is out, and Scott Zielinski, the final qualifier of the day, has the track. First trip around for the 24 of Zielinski. 13.133. That's fourth quick so far. 13.133. Checkered flag is out. He's got to beat a 12.828. 13.110 will settle the 24 of Scott Zielinski in the 4th spot later on this afternoon for the start of the 30-lap main event for the NHSDR8 Ground Pound and Modifieds. We're just going to have a couple of seconds here in between heats and features, ladies and gentlemen. Now's your chance to run up. We have our concession booths wide open. Get yourself something cold to drink, something hot to eat. We also have our beer garden wide open, the black flagged beer garden over in the left side portion of the property. Our employees are on it here in the pit area this afternoon. Usually we have a couple seconds in between heats and features. We are running right into feature time. Granite State Indoor Gun Range 6-shooter 25-lap main event going to kick off this afternoon on Father's Day Sunday at Hudson International. On the pole, the Pioneer Automotive MTM Flooring 25 New Hampshire is Michael Yetton. Outside of him, the Gangster of Love in the Judd's Automotive number 79. That's good for Steve Miller Jr. The Shorey Trucking 17X machine of Tristan Bodwell will grid third alongside the 68 machine. The Thibodeau Racing sponsored ride Harpoon IPA Chevrolet for Steve Miller Sr. The 37 of Trevor Young, the Judd's Automotive sponsored ride, will start fifth on the field alongside the Pioneer Automotive 52 NH of Mike Comtois. Final set row, Garrett Berry in car number 51 on the inside of the shotgun car in car number 77. Caboose today is Robert Taylor. "25 laps the distance. Michael Yetton in the 25 New Hampshire on the inside of the 79 machine. Steve Miller Jr. coming around to take the green flag. Yetton will lead him off the corner down the back straightaway. Keep an eye on the third spot. Tristan Bodwell holding her own in the 17X underneath the 68 machine of Steve Miller Sr. Yetton leads him around for lap number 1. Single filed out down the back straightaway. Steve Miller Jr. not going down without a fight. Hook to the back bumper of the 25 New Hampshire. 3 laps in the books. Michael Yetton feeling the pressure still from the 79 machine of Steve Miller Jr. Tristan Bodwell now comfortable in the 3rd spot in car number 17X. 25 laps the total distance here for the Granite State Indoor Gun Range 6-shooter division. Two-car breakaway. Michael Yetton, Steve Miller Jr. running away from the rest of the field, but not running away from each other here. 79 machine looks hungry to get to the inside door panel of the 25 New Hampshire, Michael Yetton. Yetton looks to have the speed to fend him off. Miller Jr. now trying a different line, entering the corner, seeing if he can scrub up some speed. They're bumper to bumper. Down through 1 and 2, the battle is on for the number 1 spot again. Miller just can't seem to crawl his way to the inside of Yetton. Using the bumper down through 1 and 2. Can't unsettle the 25 machine. Yetton looking strong and steady at the front of this one. He'll click in lap 9 of the books. Just past 10 laps in, 11 laps clicked in that time. Nothing lost, nothing gained through the entire field. Michael Yetton shows the pace down the back straightaway. Steve Miller Jr. Tristan Bodwell starts to enter the picture more and more each lap. Halfway home at the start-finish line. Cross flags are in the air from Matt Johnson. 13 down out of 25, and Michael Yetton in the 25 has shown the pace thus far. 17 of Bodwell, all out of shape down through 1 and 2. The 68 of Steve Miller Sr. will dive down to the bottom side. Coming up on lap traffic with 10 laps to go. Robert Taylor in the 77 will give plenty of racing room to the outside groove. One around in turn 2. It's the 17X of Tristan Bodwell, and the yellow flag will be displayed. Tristan Bodwell goes for the spin cycle in the Shorey Trucking 17X. The first yellow flag of feature time is out. Not the yellow flag Michael Yetton in the 25 New Hampshire wanted to see. Give another crack on the outside of the 79 machine. Steve Miller Jr. has not left the back bumper all 15 laps. Trying to get the restart lineup worked out. 10 laps remain here in the feature event for the Granite State Indoor Gun Range 6-shooters. Race control Brian Callen up here trying to get the lineup straightened out. Talking to the drivers inside their receivers, inside the helmet, that they can hear one way from the race director, or at least hypothetically they should be. Still to come this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, 40 laps the distance later on this afternoon for the new, Northeast Auto Import late models. 40 laps, $1,500 to the winner. The 40-lap Stand Up to Cancer Jeremy Decourcy Pure Stock Memorial will happen later on this afternoon as well. 40 laps for the 4 cylinders. That's always a good time here at Hudson International Speedway. A good field for them. 17 strong in the 50-lap Jim O'Brien Memorial Race. Good, healthy field. Love to see that for the NEMA Lights. I believe they've been averaging 16 to 22, 23 cars at every event that they've showed up to in 2023. As now the lineup looks good. We are ready to go. We're going to rack them, restack them, and let them loose this time. 15 laps in out of 25 for the Granite State Indoor Gun Range 6-shooters. Who's going to get the good jump off the front row? Michael Yetton has led him since the drop of the green. Steve Miller Jr. up top. Green flag is out. Out of turn 2, it's still Michael Yetton. Now the battle is on. The father-son battle here on Father's Day Sunday. Miller Jr. in the 79. Miller Sr. in the 68 will duke it out for spot number 2. Travis Young in car number 37, the Judd's Automotive sponsored ride. I believe this is his Hudson International Speedway debut, running in the 4th spot. Going to try the inside of the 68 machine here in a couple laps if everything works out. Running pretty good, the Judd's Automotive Chevrolet. Mike Comtois rounds out the top 5 right now in the Pioneer Automotive sponsored ride, but he feels the pressure underneath. Here comes Tristan Bodwell. She's trying to pick her way back through the field. Gonna be 5 laps to go this time. 5 fingers fly from Matt Johnson. 20 in the books, 5 to go, and Michael Yetton has led them all. Steve Miller Jr. in the 79, able to keep pace with the 25 New Hampshire, but not quite able to reel him in. Running out of real estate here in the late stages of the 6-shooter main event. Keep an eye on that 3rd position, ladies and gentlemen. Travis Young in the 37 has reeled in Steve Miller Sr. once again. 2 laps to go at the start-finish line. 2 laps remain. Johnson will let the laundry out to dry. Quarter-mile trip to go for the 25 New Hampshire of Michael Yetton. Off of turn 2, down the back straightaway for the final time. Checkered flag is gonna fly. The 25 New Hampshire will lead them all. It's Michael Yetton nailing it down. Second goes to the 79 machine of Steve Miller Jr. Steve Miller Sr. in the 68 will take 3rd. Tristan Bodwell, the 17X, and the 37 of Trevor Young will round out the top 5. As we're heading trackside, we'll get a word with your feature winner.
Looks like top three. They're all stopped here.
Down here in Granite State Indoor Gun Range, 6-shooter Victory Lane. He's out of the car. He can hear you. Let him hear you, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Yetton is victorious in the 25 New Hampshire. Oh, throwing the shades on. That's important. Sun's out. So, absolutely dominant here today, man. Led him from the drop of the green. The yellow flag came out. We knew they were going to have another shot on the outside of you, but you stayed true, stayed strong and steady here at the front of the class and dominated here today.
Thank you. I didn't want that caution to come out, but I don't know how good I was doing before that. I got to thank J. Lynch Electric, BMP, Heating and Cooling, MTM Flooring, Pioneer Automotive, OTP, Orthopedic Physical Therapy, and Toromeo Industries, and my buddy John for helping me out.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, victorious down here. Michael Yetton in the 25 New Hampshire. Steve Miller Jr. in the 79, and Steve Miller Sr. in the 68. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we will have the 40-lap main event for the best support division across the 50 states of America. $1,500 to win the Northeast Auto Import Late Models. But first, a quick word from our friends over at the Northeastern Midget Association.
Yeah, we talked earlier, John, about the fact that we are going to be giving away $100 to someone in the grandstands if you're lucky enough to catch the little ball with the winning number on it. That would be the number of the car that finishes first, and you get to come to Victory Lane and pick up your $100. So Dennis O'Brien is there with his little air gun to shoot off some balls up into the grandstands. Make sure you hold on to it because each ball has the number of one of the cars running in the main event. And if that car wins the race, you win $100. So make sure that you catch the ball and he shoots it your way. And then make sure you hold on to that ball because it could win you $100 if the number on your ball wins the 50-lap Jim O'Brien Memorial Race for the NEMA Midgets. So he is walking along here in front of the grandstand. Get the ball, recognize the number, hold on to it, because if you have the winning number, if the winning car number is on the ball that you have, you'll come right down to Victory Lane after the NEMA main event and get $100 cash. Each one of the balls has a number of one of the cars that'll be entered into the 50-lap feature. And hold on to it because if that car wins, you win $100 and you get to come down to Victory Lane to collect your cash. So get your catch in hand ready because now he's over on the other side of the grandstands down towards the fourth turn area. And he's shooting the balls into the grandstands. Make sure you grab one.
Ladies and gentlemen, $1,500 to win the Northeast Auto Import Late Models on the field. Starting them off on the pole, the Clement Realty number 33 Junior for Coach Clement, Billy Clement Jr. Outside of him, the 55, the Taters Tots Marsh Brothers Deli. 360 Race Cars 55 out of Canaan, New Hampshire. Welcome, Robbie Streeter. The defending champion, the Precise Industries Snowworks 33W, Charging Chuck Daney Wilgrid third. Up top of him, the Morton Builders D&L Auto number 57, winner 1 week ago, the Cabana Boy Justin Beecher. The 02, the Bomaco sponsored Chevrolet out of Groton, Massachusetts. Jeff Rollins will start alongside the driver out of Londonderry, New Hampshire, Milton Duran, the Renfrew Motorsports 08. The 88 of Johnny Rocket, John Vinyl, the Lie Vinyl Excavating 88 will start alongside Mike Williams in the 07. Chris Riondo in car number 4 will start alongside the All Trades Contract 81 of Andrew Brousseau. Matt Sonhalter in the JAE Auto Body 33 Vermont comes to a stop on the inside of turn 3. Yellow flag on the speedway. The 45 grids next out of Hudson, New Hampshire. The M&W Auto Repair sponsored ride for the Grouch Oscar LeClaire. And outside of him, out of Haverhill, Massachusetts, the Schroeder and Son sponsored ride. That's good for the captain, Chris Schroeder. Next row on the inside, the Prospect Taylors. R&L Autocycle, Bumpy's Auto Service sponsored 72 out of Salem, New Hampshire. Welcome the caveman, Kenny Scott Jr. Outside of him, the Clement Trucking number 3 here today in memory of Mighty Mike Lewis. That's good for the Amherst, New Hampshire native. Kevin Brown, downtown, is back in the 3. Trevor Rock in car number 79, the 7, the Catco Recycling sponsored entry. Big thanks to Donnie Belial and Catco Recycling here today. The 33, Dan Palin, the traditional mortgage sponsored Chevrolet, and the Taters Tots 41 of Travis Sykes out of Claremont, New Hampshire. Problems under the pace last for the Nashua, New Hampshire native Jay Sousa in car number 8. He's going to have to head to the pits. He'll come back out and start caboose on the field. Hudson International Speedway, are you ready? 40 laps the distance, $1,500 to win. The best support division in the country. The Northeast Auto Import late models coming around to the green flag. They hit it. Green flag is out. We're underway. Clement will lead the charge off the corner. Daney will battle on the inside for second. Above him, the 55, and now the 57, 3 wide off the corner. Chuck Daney on the inside of Robbie Streeter. They go toe-to-toe for the second spot. Now the 02 of Jeff Rollins will join the picture. Clement shows him around the lap too. Chuck Daney second. He's going to start to reel him in. Rollins third. The battle is on for fourth. Milton Duran on the inside of Robbie Streeter. Justin Beecher there in the 57 machine. Beecher's got to win his name in 2023. Milton Duran in the 08 as well. Coming around a quick in lap number 4 out of 40, a 10th of the way through, and it's still all Coach Clement in car number 33. 33 Junior ahead of the 33W. Chuck Daney. Been racing these race cars for about 3 decades now. Always a top dog here in the late model division. But here comes the 02 machine. The Groton Rocket. Jeff Rollins will throw it in on the inside. Throws it in, lets it land. He'll have the second spot. And look out, Chris Schroeder's around in turns 3 and 4. Yellow flag is out. Chris Schroeder in the 66K goes for the spin cycle, and the 8 of Jay Sousa having a tough go at it here this afternoon. It's been all the 33 junior of Billy Clement Jr. at the top side of this class. Jeff Rollins had just ducked down for the second spot. I don't know if we completed that lap. Chuck Daney, Milton Duran, and Justin Beecher all run through the top 5. 35 laps remain here. Once again, a big shout out to Catco Recycling and Bumpy's Auto Service for coming on today's race to make the payout just that much better for these guys to come out and have a great Sunday afternoon. Big purse money put up to make it $1,500 to win from Catco Recycling, and Bumpy's Auto Service coming on board here this afternoon, giving $100 from second back to 6th. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th will all get an extra $100 courtesy of Bumpy's Auto Service. Can't thank companies and sponsors like that enough. Crossing them up and 1. .33 on 33 crime. Coming to the Bumpy's Auto restart zone. Billy Clement Jr. on the inside of Chuck Daney, and they fire off the corner down to the stripe. Clement leads them on the bottom side. Daney going to have to fall down in line for second. He'll try to fight for the number 1 spot. Rollins will fill the hole underneath for the second position. He's got Justin Beecher hooked to his train. The 08 machine of Milton Duran stuck behind the 33W of Chuck Daney on the high side groove. Duran will fall back and try to settle in line, but he'll fall almost on the front bumper of the 55 of Robbie Streeter. Everyone keep an eye on the Lightning chassis number 4 of Chris Riondo. He's picking them off one by one, charging his way through the field. Billy Clement Jr., Jeff Rollins, Justin Beecher, and now Milton Duran will settle down to the inside. Trying the bottom side of the defending track champion, Chuck Daney. Daney slams the door down into turn 1. Duran gives him the bumper, trying to get the fender back underneath. Daney will slam it back shut. Bumper tag again through 3 and 4. Chuck Daney holding on for dear life over the nose of the 08 to Duran. Duran hungry for one more spot. He'll give him the bumper again. Battle on for the race lead now. Jeff Rollins to the inside. Gets the nose underneath Billy Clement Jr. He'll lead him down into turn 3. Justin Beecher in the 57 sees some daylight rolling. He'll move to the bottom side as well. It's a 3-car breakaway out the front of the field. Jeff Rollins, Justin Beecher, Billy Clement Jr. One around again. It's the 66K. The captain, Chris Schroeder, multi-time track champion, a former youth division champion where he cut his teeth right here in the former Thunderlight division, goes for the spin cycle down in turn 1. Tough break there for the driver out of Haverhill, Massachusetts. Pops that thing in reverse. Will he head to the pits or will he join the tail end of the field? It looks like Chris Schroeder is back for more. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you like the action you're seeing on the Speedway right now, you'll want to be here 1 week from today, the 25th of June, the 25th running of the Mighty Mike Lewis Memorial. That is, and I will stand by it, one of the best races across the country. The Mighty Mike Lewis Memorial, the 25th annual. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if we have 35 to 45 of these here race cars in the paddock trying to make it into the show on the 25th, next Sunday here at the original Family Fun Track, 1 o'clock start time. If you are unable to make it here next Sunday, you are able to watch it online via pay-per-view from NastraVision.com, NHSTRAVISION.com. For all of your racing needs from the 4 tracks, Monadnock Speedway, Hudson International Speedway, Claremont Motorsports Park, and the Lee USA Speedway. The Lee USA Speedway is back in action next Friday night. Pro Stocks, Ridge Runners, 6-shooters, late models, and Pure Stocks. That is all next Friday, 7 o'clock start time. Friday night under the lights at New Hampshire Center Speed, Lee USA Speedway. But right now, we're ready to let the Northeast Auto Import late models back green. 12 laps in out of 40. Oh, ho, ho. Playing games, are we? Beecher tried to school him on the outside. Jeff Rollins says, too soon, Junior. He'll take the race lead on the inside. Off the corner to the stripe, Jeff Rollins. Same old story at the front of the field. Battle is on for the fifth spot. Like I said, keep an eye on that 4 machine. The Lightning Chassis Works sponsored ride. The Weasel, Chris Riondo, rides the outside lane of the defending track champion, Chuck Daney. Daney on the bottom side of the Weasel. Side-by-side action back for the 5th spot. Keep an eye on Milton Duran. The R&R Public Wholesaler sponsored Chevrolet wants a piece of hardware here tonight. Chris Schroeder in the 66 case squarely down through 1 and 2 at the backside of the field. Kenny Scott's off the pace in the 72. Hand out the window, and the Prospect Taylor's Bumpy's Auto Service Chevrolet is heading pit side. Three wide out back down the back straightaway. Dan Palin, Donnie Belial, Johnny Rocket, John Final on the up top of the raceway. Squirrely, we're almost 3 wide ahead of them. We almost are. Kevin Brown able to settle it down in front of Mike Williams with Matt Sonhalter peeking on the inside of him. Halfway home, 20 laps down, 20 laps remain at the start and finish line. Look at the action from 3rd on back. Duran upstairs. Clement upstairs, 4 wide off the corner. And who comes out with that one? It's the 4 of Chris Riondo. He washes up the raceway. Daney almost gets right reared. They're all over each other from 3rd on back. $1,500. Take the gloves off. Jeff Rollins absolutely running away from the field. Justin Beecher runs 2nd, and now the Weasel, Chris Riondo in car number 4. Robbie Streeter has bumped himself back right outside of the top 5 into the 6th spot. He'll get around the 08 machine of Milton Duran. Andrew Brousseau is up there in the mix with Andrew Moore, and right behind him in car number 30, Trevor Rock is there, and all the way back to the 3 machine of downtown Kevin Brown. 25 laps in. Coming to 26 at the line for the Groton Rocket, Jeff Rollins, but we're coming up on some hefty lap traffic. The 57, Justin Beecher out of Billerica, Massachusetts. Right there in line with the O2 machine, about 6 car lengths back. About the only competitor he has right now as the 3 machine of downtown Kevin Brown will retire. Heads to the pits. Getting that car shakedown is next week. He will come out here and give it his all for the 25th running of the Mighty Mike Lewis Memorial. Matt Johnson gonna raise the roof on the flag stand. 10 laps to go. 10 to go. Andrew Moore, and whoa, your leader is into lap traffic, and we have yellow. Donnie Belial in the 7. Holds up the O2 machine of Jeff Rollins, and they get tangled down into turn number 1. It's anybody's race again. Justin Beecher will restart this race on the pole. Outside of him, who's come from a long ways back, the Lightning chassis, number 4 machine of the Weasel, Chris Riondo. Chuck Daney will be 3rd. 4th will be the 33 junior of Billy Clement. And 5th should be the 55 machine, the Marsh Brothers, Deli, Taters Tots, 360 race car sponsored Chevrolet for Canaan, New Hampshire's Robbie Streeter. The 7 machine of Donnie Belial will head to the pits. Jeff Rollins is rolling in car number 02. And it looks like he will try to rejoin the field at the top side.
Not when he's taken out by a second place car.
Crossing him up in 1. Jeff Rollins will keep his spot on the grid. Gets tangled up with a lap car on lap number 29. That means 11 laps remain here, $1,500 to win. The Northeast Auto Import late model set to refire this time. Coming off the Bumpy's Auto Restart Zone. Green flag is out down to the stripe runaway. Side by side, a dead heat battle for the race lead. We're 3 wide behind them with Milton Duran way down to the bottom side on Clement. Clement's got a wheel full of car number 33 junior now. 4 cars in a line and the battle's on behind them. Justin Beecher in car number 57 looks like he's trying to settle himself up on the high side groove. Streeter muscled out of the way from the 33 Vermont, Matt Steinhalter. Keep an eye on the 66K. Schroeder's making his way through the field. Mr. Consistency. Mike Williams almost into it. And the 33 of Dan Palin is around. Lost the right rear sneaker. Right rear is gone off the 33 of Dan Palin, the traditional mortgage-sponsored ride. Sits atop turns 1 and 2. And we'll have another restart green here with 8 laps remaining here for the Northeast Auto Import Late Models main event. Hudson International Speedway. Wrecker crew is on the scene up in turns 1 and 2. Gonna hook the backside of Dan Palin in car number 33. Jeff Rollins in car number 02. A strong force at the front of this field will lead him to a restart green once again to his outside, the 57 of Justin Beecher, who throughout the entire field might be one of the most comfortable drivers on the outside groove. So we'll see what he'll be able to do with this one. Chris Riondo in the 4, the defending track champion, the 33 of Chuck Daney, and the 08 machine of Milton Duran. So they'll shimmy the 33 machine back to the pit area as we're going to have another go in the Bumpy's Auto Service restart zone. Big shout out to Bumpy's Auto Service and all of our track sponsors here for making this place what it is and helping us out year in and year out. Precise Industries, E-Keys for Cars, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Newly on the back straightaway, RT Construction. For all your construction needs, make sure you give them a call, 978-360-6140. Synergy Sign Works, Steve Dickey is walking around. It's his first time being a fan here at the Hudson High Banks in about 5 years. Big shout out to Steve Dickey helping us out, helping out all 4 tracks. They just got the new Hudson Speedway truck wrapped. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Looks like the lineup set to go. Track surface is safe, and we have ourselves 8 laps remaining. Here we go. Jeff Rollins, Justin Beecher set to do the dance. Coming to the Bumpy's Auto Service restart zone this time. The green flag is set to fly from the hands of Matt Johnson. Here they come. The green flag is out. Rollins gets the jump on the inside groove. Beecher will settle down in line. Battle's going to be on from fourth on back. The 08 and the 233 machines. Daney, Clement, and Duran. 33 laps in the books. It's all the Bomaco. Number 02, the Groton Rocket. Jeff Rollins starts to open up the gap. Chuck Daney knocking on the back door of Milton Duran. Single file through the field now. Jeff Rollins starts to tiptoe away from the rest of the competitors in car number 02. Beecher trying to reel him in. Chris Riondo, the Weasel, the Lightning chassis, number 4 right there in the third spot. He's got the final piece of hardware right here, right now. 3 to go. The battle is hot and heavy for the 5th spot now. Billy Clement Jr. knocking on the inside of Chuck Daney. Down into 1, Daney will slam the door shut. Coach Clement will fall back to the 6th spot. 2 laps to go. The popsicle sticks are gonna fly. Looking for the white flag this time. Matt Johnson gonna let the laundry out to dry. Quarter-mile trip remains for the 02 machine, the Groton Rocket, Jeff Rollins. He'll lead him down the back straightaway for the final time. Down through turns 3 and 4, the checkered flag is out. Jeff Rollins will nail it down. Second will go to the 57 of Justin Beecher. Third to the 4 machine of the Weasel, Chris Riondo. 4th spot belonged to the 08 machine of Milton Duran, and rounding out the top 5, the defending track champion charge in Chuck Daney. Well, at trackside to talk to your feature winner. Down here in Northeast Auto Import Victory Lane. How about a round of applause, your late model feature winner, Jeff Rollins in car number 02. Well, in Matt Hirschman style, Jeff, I mean, you heard the money was coming out, you dug the thing out of the garage, you come here in dominating fashion, and you took everybody to school.
Yeah, the car was great again. It was awesome at Monadnock. We came here, unloaded. We did one practice again. It's just awesome. It was kind of unfortunate there with the lap car. That was kind of a weird deal there. Definitely got to thank my father for everything we do. We decided Friday night when we saw the money to come up here. And it's good to see everyone in the top 3 here. And Beecher always races great, so it's good to see him here.
Well, you got a couple sponsors on this car. Who else helps you get here?
Petrie Tree Service, JSK Automotive, Rymore. I feel like I'm missing somebody. But Stapleton Race Engines, LCM Race Engines, everyone that gives us a hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Jeff Rollins down here victorious in the Northeast Auto Import Late Models. Justin Beecher second, and the Weasel, Chris Riondo in the 4 rounds out your top 3.
Modified.
So another big congratulations to Jeff Rollins on his win in the Northeast Auto Import Late Models, as top 5 will head to technical inspection. We are ready for the Premier Division here at the Hudson International Speedway. The NHSTRA Ground Pound and Modified set to do a 30-lap main event. Following their feature will be the 40-lap main event, the Jeremy Decourcy Stand Up to Cancer Memorial Race, 40 laps for the pure stocks, and will end out the afternoon with the 50-lap Jim O'Brien Memorial for the NEMA Lights. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 30 laps the distance for the NHSTRA Ground Pound and Modifieds. Before we go green on our Premier Division, I ask you all to please rise. Remove your racing caps and point your attention to turn number 1 as we honor America with the playing of our Star-Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? 30 laps the distance for the NHSTRA Modifieds. Drivers, start your engines! As the ground starts to rumble, the ground pounders are gonna start to roll. 30 laps the distance here for their main event. And here's how they'll roll down. With the quick time here this afternoon, starting them off on the pole, the J.R. Hudson Horse Transportation Victory Lane Stables, number 44. The driver hails out of Brockton, Massachusetts. This is Jesse Jacobatus. Outside of row number 1, schedule beat the 02. You just saw him win the late model feature event. In the 02, the RideMore.com sponsored entry for Jeff Rollins out of Groton, Massachusetts. The Whitewater Plastics, Triton Automotive, Garrett's Carpentry, number 2, hails next. The defending champion from the Monadnock Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back Tyler Leary. 4th on the grid, the Zielinski Heating and Cooling sponsored number 24 machine. Former competitor weekly in the late model division. He's been racing around these parts for a couple of decades now. In his second competitive race behind the wheel of a ground pound and modified, welcome Scott Zielinski. Another driver in his second race Behind the wheel of an open wheel modified, the 62 machine, the Pleasant View sponsored ride out of Sterling, Massachusetts, former outlaw sportsman, champion here at the High Banks. Welcome, Todd Warren. Doug Lum is going to be on the flag stand. Doug Lum going to be throwing the honorary green flag for today's green flag of the NHSDRA modified event. So welcome, Doug. He's down there. He's going to have himself a great Father's Day. The 29 will grid next. The Hudson Heroes MLM Diagnostic Services sponsored entry. Car number 29 hails out of Hudson, New Hampshire. Welcome, Marshall Law, Mike Marshall. The 29 New Hampshire grids next. The NH Lottery, Rocky Branch Auto sponsored entry. Multi-time track champion from the Claremont Motorsports Park. That's Superman Aaron Fellows. And final car on the field out of Belchertown, Massachusetts, the J&J Trucking sponsored entry. Weekly competitor last year at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Welcome back, Josh Carey. So Josh Carey will make up caboose. Jesse Jagavatis and the O2 machine of Jeff Rollins will start him off on the front row. Jesse Jacobaitis had the quick time here in the 2022 Choppy Baldwin Memorial. With an invert of 8, started 8th on the grid, picked his way to the number 1 spot with a late race yellow, found himself moved out of the top 5. We'll see if he can have his redemption ride here this afternoon. Jesse Jacobaitis, Jeff Rollins, Tyler Leary, Scott Zielinski, and the Warhammer Todd Warren run through the top 5. 30 laps the distance. Doug Lum is ready to set him green. Off the corner, we're underway. Down into turn 1, it's Jacobaitis. Rollins tried to settle down in the inside groove, but it's all the 2 machine. The Garrett's Carpentry ride of Tyler Leary. Scott Zielinski will bounce off the inside nerve bar for the 3rd spot. Jeff Rollins able to capitalize. He'll drop down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Single file down the back straightaway. Jesse Jacobaitis, Tyler Leary, Jeff Rollins, Scott Zielinski, the top 4 runners. Jacobaitis in his 3rd year of competition, all 3 of them being behind the wheel of an open wheel style modified. Tyler Leary, who's got 2 cars, he runs here and at the Stafford Motor Speedway on Friday nights. And Jeff Rollins pulling double duty here this afternoon. Already has a win to his name here on Father's Day Sunday 2023. Looking to make it 2 in the O2. Side-by-side battle back for the 5th spot. Josh Carey in the 69 will bounce up 1. Jacobaitis in the 44, starting to run away with it. Battle is on for 2nd now. Here comes Jeff Rollins trying the inside. Jeff Rollins, multi-time track champion here at Hudson International Speedway, the defending series champion here in the NHSDRA Modifieds. Trying to find himself to the inside of Tyler Leary. Leary washes up the raceway just a little bit. Doesn't allow the O2 machine of Rollins to capitalize underneath at the bottom side of the racetrack. Single file pretty well spread out now. The only battle on the raceway is for that 2nd spot between the 2 twos. The 2 and the O2 battle it out for the number 2 spot. They're all chasing the 44 machine of Jesse Jacobaitis out of Brockton, Massachusetts. The 2018 New Hampshire State NASCAR Division 1 points champion in the O2, still on the back door, the Whitewater Plastics number 2 at Tyler Leary. Leary in the 2, the defending track champion from the Monadnock Speedway. The 0-2, the defending track champion from right here at home, Hudson International Speedway. And they're all chasing Jesse Jagabatis. Jagabatis, a driver with only one feature win to his name, trying to make it 2 here tonight. Yellow flag is on the speedway. And debris. There it is, atop turn 3. Right on the back straightaway underneath the Northeast Auto Import sign. Jay Parker, part of our infield crew, gonna head out there and pick it up. That's the last thing you need to hit when you're traveling about 100 miles an hour, is a giant piece of something. Couple cars gonna head pit side, both 29s, the 29 of Marshall Law, Mike Marshall, and the 29 New Hampshire of Superman, Aaron Fellows. And we'll see if the PTSD starts to kick in. As we mentioned, Jesse Jagabatis was a dominant factor in the 2023 Quest for the Cup annual Choppy Baldwin Memorial. Made his way to the front side of the field and lost that race due to a restart yellow. Or a restart green, I should say. So as we pace under yellow, the longer we do, the more thoughts start brewing. And we'll see who can maintain their composure the best here with a lap 14 restart, just about halfway through the main event here this afternoon for the NHSTRA Modifieds. NHSTRA Modifieds, our premier division here at the Hudson International Speedway. Also, fun fact, the only division that we have that does not have a title sponsor. So if you're watching this here today and you have a business or know of someone that has a business, you've heard me say NHSTRA Modifieds enough. That could be swapped out with your company's name at any given time. Get in contact with Hudson Speedway, Steve Grand, or come on up in the booth and shake my hand myself. We can do that any way possible. But right now, Modified, set to come back to green through the Bumpy's auto restart zone. We fire down the front straightaway. Jagabatis gets through 1 and 2 just fine. He'll pull away from the rest of the field. Rollins, this is exactly what he needed to see. He'll finally make his way to the inside of the 2 machine of Tyler Leary now. Down to the inside, we're toe-to-toe. We're side by side down the back straightaway for the second spot. And now Scott Zielinski will make his presence known. Zielinski got, oh, monster truck over the 2 machine of Tyler Leary. Yellow flag is out once again for the Zielinski Heating and Cooling. Number 24. Tried the bottom side of the 2 machine of Tyler Leary. Oh, monster truck over the 2 machine. Exhibit A of why you can't race that close with open wheel. Hop the tire and absolutely Dennis Anderson style gravediggered over the 2 machine of Tyler Leary. As you can see, the left rear of that car all smushed in. Jesse Jagabatis going to have another couple minutes to think as he sits atop the field under yellow. Jeff Rollins will be the new neighbor upstairs. Zielinski got, oh, monster Superman, truck over Aaron the 2 machine of Tyler Leary. Todd Warren in car number 62. The 60. Unfortunate incident for them. The 24 machine of Scott Zielinski spun around a top turn. Absolutely nowhere to go. Over the 2 machine of Tyler Leary. Yellow flag is out once again for the Zielinski Heating and Cooling. Number 24. tried the bottom side of the 2 machine of Tyler Leary.
Monster truck over the 2 machine.
Exhibit A of why you can't race that close with open wheel. Hop the tire and absolutely Dennis Anderson style gravediggered over the 2 machine of Tyler Leary. As you can see, the left rear of that car all smushed in. A little bit of aerodynamic problems might be had for the left rear side of that machine. The Garrett's Carpentry portion of that race car completely smushed in. We'll see if it'll hold up for 15 more laps. A halfway restart here for the NHS TRA Modifieds. Coming to the Bumpy's Auto restart zone. Green flag is out. Nice even start down to the stripe. Jumpy through the box, but they come even down to the start-finish line and through 1 and 2. The yellow flag is out. Too many games being played down through the Bumpy's Auto restart zone. Jesse Jacobate is going to have another couple minutes to think as he sits atop the field under yellow. Jeff Rollins will be the new neighbor upstairs. Being played down through the Bumpy's Auto restart zone. Jesse Jacobate is going to have another. Getting ready for an icy. Can we get it this time? Out of the corner we fire now. Rubbing elbows down through 1 and 2 for the number 1 spot. Jacobaitis will clear in the 44. Keep an eye on the 29 New Hampshire Superman. Aaron Fellows picking them off 1 by 1. Down to the inside of Mike Marshall for the 4 spot. Marshall hanging up on the outside of the raceway. Josh Carey will now slide underneath for the 5th spot. Marshall will fall back 2 in the 29 machine as we're single file down the back straightaway, all chasing the J.R. Hudson Horse Transportation sponsored entry of Jesse Jacobaitis out of Brockton, Mass. Ten fingers in the air. 10 laps to go from Matt Johnson. Down the back straightaway we head. It's Jacobaitis by about 4 car lengths ahead of the field. Best battle is on for the 4 spot. Look at Josh Carey. He's got the 29 machine of Superman Aaron Fellows under attack. Superman in the 29 New Hampshire, and Josh Carey's trying to play kryptonite here this afternoon.
It's on now, thank you.
Five laps remain, this time by 5 finger salute in the air. 5 to go as Matt Johnson waves hello. Jacobate is looking to cruise to Hudson International Speedway victory lane. He'll have 4 trips to go, this time by 1 mile remains. This race could be over in the next 30 seconds. Lap traffic now might play the factor. The 62 machine of the Warhammer, Todd Warren. 2 to go. 2 laps remain. Lap traffic dead ahead. Plenty of racing room up top. Jacobaitis will clear. Looking for the white flag. Looking to redeem himself from the choppy Baldwin Memorial. Down through 1 and 2. Nice and easy down the back straightaway for the final time. Gonna click this one under his belt. Jesse Jacobaitis comes to the checkered flag. Second will go to Rollins. Third will go to Tyler Leary. Superman Aaron Fellows fourth, and rounding out the top 5, Joshua Carey in car number 69. We will head trackside to talk to your feature winner. Test, test. Well, we're down here in NHSTRA ground pounded modified Victory Lane. He is out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. He can hear you. How about a big round of applause? Your feature winner, car number 44, Jesse Jacobaitis. Jesse, man, we were talking about you all day long. You're bad, fast, in qualifying. Once again, you made your way to the front. Had to deal with a couple of restarts. You made your way just fine. An absolutely dominant factor, and you guys got this thing worked out here this year.
Yeah, absolutely. This is great redemption from last time out at the Choppy Baldwin. We almost had that one, but this is good. Shout out to my dad. Happy Father's Day, and all the other dads out there. Sorry to Mom because I didn't win on Mother's Day for her. But, yeah, great run for us for sure.
And I see you got all this car is all stickered up, man. It seems you got a lot of help behind you. Who are they?
Absolutely. I got to thank JR Hudson Horse Transportation, Victory Lane Stables, Ultimate Pizza, Design, Honeydew Brockton, Dalton Water Company, Ty Kernan Music, Wallhorse Trucking, and Ben, Steve, you, and everyone at Hudson, because every time we come here, fun new improvements, and glad to have a place to race.
Ladies and gentlemen, let them hear you one more time. Jesse Jacobaitis, victorious in the mods. Second goes to Jeff Rollins. Third to the 2 of Tyler Leary. On the speedway now, ladies and gentlemen, sitting atop turn 3 and 4. The second annual, the 2023 Smoke Junior Stand Up to Cancer Jeremy Decourcy Memorial. Pure stocks ready to go. 40 laps the distance in a prestigious race here that we hold at Hudson International Speedway in memory of a great friend. On the flag stand for this one, Dakota Decourcy, Jeremy's cousin, gonna be throwing the green flag as we get set to let him loose under pace laps. I can't tell if that Pontiac is blowing up or doing a one-wheel peel. It's a one-wheel peel, so that's actually not a bad thing. Lead them out, going to be car number 4. This driver has one win at all 4 NHSDRA racetracks in 2023. The State Farm, Brody Ledoux, 603 Metalwork sponsored entry out of Claremont. This is Colton Martin. Up top of him, car number 16. 2 wins credited to his name in 2023. It's good for Chris Davis. The Anchored Creations number 4 machine of Nolan McClay will grid on the inside of row number 2 alongside the 1 machine of Carlos Grenier. Caden Vissett, the defending track champion, on the inside of the next row in car number 03. He's out of Dracut, Massachusetts. The Catkill Recycling number 21X will grid outside. That's good for Kenzie Belisle. Chris Conroy in car number 78 will grid on the inside of the following set row alongside the O'Day's Garage number 38 for the Ogre, Jim Rhodes. Jimmy Zellman in the 01 will grid alongside last year's runner-up in the point standings out of Springfield, Vermont. The Shaggin' Wagon, the 65 Vermont, is good for Doug Nelson. Lele Daniels drives car number 4. She's good for the inside of the next set row with Scotty Blanchard in the 56. Sean Lantis in the 8 machine. We'll bring up the backside of the field due to scheduling, and here we come to the green flag. Dakota Decourcy lets him loose, and the Jeremy Decourcy Memorial is underway. Down the backstretch we head. It's Chris Davis. The battle will be on for second. Carlos Grenier in the 1 New Hampshire and the 4 of Colton Martin. 2 drivers actually got tangled up into each other 1 week ago. Bringing out a yellow flag will duke it out for the second spot now. Nolan McClay runs in the 4th spot with the youngster out of Dracut, Mass. The Abruz, number 03 of Caden Vissett. Chris Davis leads him down into turn number 1, but keep an eye on the Claremont Spartan, Colton Martin in car number 4. He'll start to reel in. The battle's on for third. Nolan McClay to the bottom side. McClay will take the 3rd spot away, and now the youngster in car number 03 will take suit. He'll take the 4th spot away. 5 cars in a line, a 5-car breakaway at the front side of the field. Chris Davis, Colton Martin, Nolan McClay, Caden Vissett, and Carlos Grenier. Just outside the top 5, all the way back to Kenzie Belisle. She's going to feel the pressure on now from Chris Conroy. Cornhole Chris Conroy in car number 78. Trying the bottom side for the 6th spot, and he'll take it down the back straightaway with a side-by-side move. He'll have Jimmy Zellman in the 01 machine hooked to his train. Chris Davis, Colton Martin, the 14 machine of Nolan McClay run through the top 3 as they start to pull away just slightly from the 03 machine of Caden Vissett. Davis, Martin, McClay, the top 3. Coming to lap 7. Slow car coming down the front straightaway. It's the 21X of Mackenzie Belisle. Lap cars are in the way now. Plenty of racing room on the bottom side of the racetrack. Davis and the rest of them will get by behind him. Will she make it off the racetrack? Almost. Yes, she will. We'll keep it green. Chris Davis now being reeled in from 3 cars behind him. Colton Martin, Nolan McClay, and the defending track champion, Caden Fassett in car number 03. Coming up on lap traffic once again, the 87 machine will get plenty of racing room to the outside. For the lead now, Colton Martin sniffing underneath the number 16 machine of Chris Davis. Davis trying to get his 3rd feature win of the year here at the original Family Fun Track. Nolan McClay way up the racetrack. Here comes Caden Fassett. Down to the bottom side, McClay will pinch him. Fassett isn't taking it. He'll muscle his way to the 3rd spot. Nolan McClay back down to the bottom. He'll rub elbows with the youngster. Jockeys him out of the way in car number 14. He'll take the 3rd spot back. It's Nolan McClay. The battle in front of him is for the race lead. Colton Martin starts to reel in for the race lead on the 16 machine of Chris Davis. 15 laps in. Carlos Grenier in car number 1. Holding his own comfortably in the 5th position as we come up on heavy lap traffic at the front of the field. Scotty Blanchard in car number 15 MA is next in line. Lele Daniels. Lab cars in front of them, all 4 cars hooked to each other out of turn 2. Now around the lap car of Scotty Blanchard, the 56 MA, battle on for the race lead. Martin sniffs underneath the 16 of Davis. Davis trying to get around the lap car there, side by side, down the front straightaway. Side by side, whoa, out of turn 2. Martin will lead him around through the lap traffic this time. Nolan McClay to the inside for 2nd through the lap cars. Through 1 and 2, it's all the Claremont Spartan, Colton Martin in car number 4. McClay, Davis, Fassett, and the 1 of Carlos Grenier round out the top 5 thus far. Caden Fassett knocking on the back door of the 16 machine. Look at him. Out of the way, pal. I'm coming through. The car, the 03 machine, that car was a race car for probably 10 years when the car in front of him was manufactured. Former Dave Helliwell Roadrunner. Before that, all the way back to Pat D'Alba back in 2007. Nick Fassett has won a championship in that car in the same family. Caden Fassett wins the championship in his first year, and now he's sniffing the back door of Chris Davis, trying to grab himself a piece of hardware. Colton Martin leads him to lap 25 with 15 to go. Nolan McClay is starting to reel him in. Coming up on another lap car. It's the 40 this time of Lele Daniels. The only female on the racetrack right now. Going to get plenty of racing room up top. Battle is on and heating up again for third. Caden Vassett going to try the bottom side of Davis. Just doesn't have the horsepower to crawl up the driver's side. He's got all the turning capability to get to the back bumper, but just can't seem to draw even down the front straightaway. They'll head down the back and into turns 3 and 4. He'll try to set him up again for a pass for the final piece of hardware in the Jeremy Decourcy Stand Up to Cancer Memorial. Lap cars hot and heavy, dead ahead of the race leaders now. Caden Vassett to the bottom side of Chris Davis. Lap traffic ahead. Vassett trying all he can do to get around the 16 machine. Battle is on for the race lead now with lap traffic dead ahead and under 10 laps to go. Nolan McClay is reeled in. Colton Martin. Heavy lap traffic, 3 wide ahead of the leaders. Can Nolan McClay capitalize in car number 14? He'll duck to the bottom side. Can't make it, stick down into turn number 1. Zellman in the 01 going a lap down. He'll get plenty of racing room to the outside. Five laps remain this time. 5 to go for the 4 machine of Colton Martin. Caden Vassett and Chris Davis still jockeying back for position. Through the lap cars they head, the leaders still making their way through lap traffic with 4 laps to go. Final lap car right in front of your leaders. It's the 38, the Ogre, Jim Rhodes in the O'Day's Garage 38 machine. 2 to go. Martin up the hill, McClay to the bottom. Battling for the number 1 spot with the lap car dead ahead. 2 to go at the start-finish line. 2 to go. Can the Anchored Creations 14 machine do anything with the 603 Metalworks number 4 down the back straightaway, touching bumpers into turn 3. White flag is out. White flag for the 38. Or passing flag to the 38. White flag to the 4. Colton Martin tries to drive up the outside. Can McClay do anything with him for the final times through turns 3 and 4? Martin will come around to the checkered flag, and he's going to be victorious. Second will go to the 14 machine. And third at the line to the 16 of Chris Davis. We will head trackside to talk to your 2023 Jeremy Decourcy Memorial Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, get out your 50-50 tickets and kids raffle tickets. 50-50 and kids raffle tickets. Get them out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, winner of the kids raffle. This is a Hudson Speedway ticket stub. Hudson Speedway ticket stub number 14235. 14235. That's a Hudson Speedway ticket stub. You can bring it to the front ticket booth. And for the 50-50 raffle, ladies and gentlemen, blue ticket 541753. 541753. Make your way to the front general admission ticket booth. Ladies and gentlemen, after 40 laps, your 2023 Jeremy Decourcy Memorial Champion, Colton Martin in car number 4. Well, Colton, that seemed to be a hard race. I mean, a couple more yellows might have actually made it easier on you guys. I mean, up on the wheel for the entire 40 laps, battling real close and hard between the top 3, and you come out victorious once again.
Yeah, this was definitely a big win for us. Had bad luck here last week with the clutch not going and all that stuff that happened in turn 1. It was nice to actually get a win here because this is the only national track I don't have a win at, so that felt good.
Well, and I see this thing's all stickered up, got a lot of help behind you. Who are they?
Mom, Todd, Papa, Mimi, Nona, Brooklyn, my sponsors, 603 Metalworks, Dan Valcourt, Twin State Pool and Spa, Benells, State Farm, Brody LeDuc. I need a list. Whoever's on that side, I can't see. And happy Father's Day, Dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, your 2023 Jeremy Decourcy Memorial Champion, Colton Martin, car number 4. Nolan McClay second, and Chris rounds out the top 3. Next on the Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, 50 laps for the Northeastern Midget Association NEMA Lights for Jim O'Brien Memorial.
NEMA Lights are out next for their 50-lap feature, the Jim O'Brien Memorial. And what a great job the O'Brien family has done putting together this program here this afternoon, the memorial race for their dad, their grandfather, as they have done for a number of years now. As they put together this special event in memory of Jim O'Brien, a former car owner, as well as a board member and official for NEMA for many years. Now, of course, most visible in NEMA, the sons, Dennis O'Brien, racing in this race here this afternoon, all in memory of their father. And a number of lap sponsors, in fact, who will be providing extra incentive for these drivers. Lap sponsors, will get to some of those.
We'll go to the 14 machine.
As the race goes on. But let's give you the starting lineup for this afternoon's running of the Jim O'Brien Memorial for the NEMA Lights, 50 laps. On the pole will be the number 94. This is Tiana Kibbe from Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Optrel Welding Claim Specialist, number 94. Outside will be the number 3, Chris Vos from Groversville, New York. Inside, second row, the 59, Braden Egan from Ashford, Connecticut. Starting alongside the number 47, that bright orange number 47 for Randy Cabral from Kingston, Massachusetts. The 5th starting spot goes to the number 28, Mike Perniciglio from Ronkonkoma, New York. The Venato Properties, Checker One Manufacturing, Parker's Pumping, number 28. Alongside the dangerous one, Paul Scally from Raynham, Mass. Earth Movers and Death Valley Arms, the sponsors on Scally's number 30. Next up is the number 10, Avery Store from a Sonnet, Mass. The Parker's Pub, Elliott Customs Trailers, number 10. Starting alongside the number 21, the famous Black 21 Scrivani Racing Team for Joey Bailey from Monroe Township. Boyd Speed Shop among the sponsors on Scrivani's number 21. 16 is next. This is the Jim O'Brien and Sons Engineering Car and Lumac Package Store for Dan Cugini from Marshfield, Mass. Alongside of him will be the number 17 for Kyle Valeri from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The Valeri Construction Cape Cod Aggregates, number 17. The 20 starts next. That's Albie Ovitt from Raymond, New Hampshire, another one of the Parker brothers entries in the number 20. And the number 1, the winner last week at the New London Waterford Speed Bowl, Chase Locke from Chester, New Hampshire. Seymour Performance Products, Lock Crane Services, and Shaman Equipment, the sponsors on that number 1. The 35 this afternoon being driven by Isaiah Newcomb in the Cabral family, racing number 35. Starting alongside the number 8 for Ethan Dion from Oakdale, Connecticut in the Montville Florist, number 8. 55 is Drew Eldridge from North Chelmsford, Massachusetts in the 55. 53, Dylan Kutu from Griswold, Connecticut in the First American Home Loans, number 53. As they come by with their 4 wide, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a wave. Wave your hands, your hats. Whatever you got there, these are the stars and cars of the Northeastern Midget Association, the NEMA Lights, here to race for you this afternoon in the Jim O'Brien Memorial Race. And speaking of that, our next starter is at green number 61, Matt O'Brien, son of the great Jim O'Brien, as he will bring up the rear of the field. First start of the season for Matt O'Brien in the number 61. He normally runs his number 16 NEMA midget. Set to go 50 laps in the Jim O'Brien Memorial Race for the NEMA Lights, twice the distance that they normally run. Normally they will do a 25-lap feature. This is an extra distance, extra money, extra incentive race. And remember, hold on to those little yellow balls if you grabbed one when they were shot into the stands. If you have the car number of the winner, you'll win $100 as we get ready to go. Tiana Kibbe and Chris Vos in the front row for 50 laps. The Jim O'Brien Memorial is underway. And Kibbe will lead them down into turn number 1. Pushes high, though, out of turn number 2. Leaves the bottom open, and Braden Egan gets around on the outside. Egan goes to the lead. Mike Perniciglio scoots to second in the 28. Then Kibby's able to recover. She's in the third spot, but being challenged by Avery Storr. Here's Avery Storr down on the low side, trying to take that third spot away. And does. Right behind him comes Joey Bailey, the New Jersey driver in the 21, and the 47 of Randy Cabral. Trouble for the 35 of Isaiah Newcomb into the turn, up against the wall, and snaps off the right front of the number 35. Pretty good contact with that unrelenting concrete wall between the first and second turn. Isaiah Newcomb making a start. Number 35. We, of course, know the name from SK Modified.
47, Randy Cabral. Trouble for the 35 of Isaiah Newcomb. Into the turn, up against
the Cabral family, number 35, but did not get through the third and fourth turn and ends up against the wall. Really snapped off that right front wheel as he made contact up there. You can see the rubber marks right at the start of the restart zone, the Bumpy's Auto Service restart zone. And officials are checking him over. 47 of Randy Cabral. Trouble for the 35 of Isaiah Newcomb. Into the turn, up against the wall, and he is okay, but the car not so, and we'll have to go on the hook with only 2 laps complete of the Jim O'Brien Memorial 50-lap feature. Some of the lap sponsors that are making this event possible, different laps sponsored by different people. One of them is in memory of Don Berrio. Don Berrio, a great supporter of racing and particularly midget racing, that passed away just recently. Donnie Berrio. In memory of Paul Storr, also another lap sponsor, Racing with Jesus Ministries. Thanks to Lou and Mike Jarrett for their sponsorship. The Coutu family, Egan Motorsports, Vosi Motorsports, and Bertrand Motorsports, all lap sponsors here this afternoon, as is the Daniel family. Roy Daniel and family pick lap number 10. Jake Sikowski, Home Track, and Kibby Racing, all lap sponsors for the Jim O'Brien Memorial here this afternoon, as is Motor Cars International. Of course, the O'Brien family, a lap sponsor. Valeri Motorsports, Jocelyn and John Piro, Coy Racing, Parker's Sanitary, Scrivani Racing, Keith Patello, Nick Poe, thank you for your sponsorship of the Jim O'Brien Memorial Race. Pete Perniciglio, Allison Dennis O'Brien, in memory of the great Al Pillion, in memory of Ray Platskis, in memory of Shane Hammond, lap number 37 lap sponsor. Misty Locke, in memory of Edward Gard, in memory of John and Sheila Fasella, in memory of John McCarthy, appropriately on lap 47, and the Derek Perniciglio Show, all sponsors of this afternoon's Jim O'Brien Memorial 50, set for the restart. Here they come, green flag. Braden Egan back to the lead from that restart pole position, but plenty of competition bearing in from behind, including Mikey Perniciglio, and another spin right up in the first and second turn. Does not make contact with the wall, but is facing the wrong way. That's Dylan Coutu. Coutu in trouble in the 53, a day that he would like to forget, as he had trouble in his qualifying heat, able to get the car refired, and will get back up onto the racetrack. But a spin trying to avoid everybody mixing it up there between the first and second turn, third and fourth turn, and Coutu ends up facing the wrong way up there in the third and fourth turn. Tough break for Dylan Coutu. Dylan, with a win last year, picked up his first and yet only NEMA Light win in great fashion last year, finished fifth in the point standings, and unfortunately will restart from the back of the field, and we'll get him doubled up again. Braden Egan is the leader in the number 59. Mike Perniciglio, the Long Island, New York driver, in the number 28. Then it's Avery Storr, the champion of the NEMA Midgets, doing double duty in the NEMA Lights. And he will restart third in the Parker Brothers number 10. Then Tiana Kibbe, the Kibbe Racing family entry, lined up in the fourth spot in the number 94. Joey Bailey in the 21. They were having problems with that car, electrical problems. Worked on it quite a bit and are hoping that they have figured that out, as he is inside the top 5 in the number 21. Randy Cabral, the multi-time NEMA champion, in the 47. Danny Cugini, the winner of the opening race at the Monadnock Speedway earlier this year for the NEMA Lights, out there in the O'Brien number 16. Albie Obit, who's driven just about everything out there in that Parker Brothers number 20, a steady ride for them. And then Paul Scally, who is taking on the chores of being co-host on a weekly podcast, which we'll hear next Tuesday night. And then after that, it'll be on Wednesday nights from WATD in Marshfield, Massachusetts. Chase Locke, last week's winner, in the number 1, and Kyle Valeri, the other winner from a couple of weeks ago, in the number 17. Green flag for the restart. And for the lead, it's Braden Egan, but while the bottom is open, here comes Mike Perniciglio. Perniciglio powers underneath the 59 and takes the lead. While the bottom is open, Avery Storr will drive underneath in the number 10. Storr goes to second. Egan back to third. There's Joey Bailey sticking the nose down underneath, trying to make the pass on Egan and can't get it done. Here's Bailey again underneath Egan, and he tries to get the third spot, but not before the caution flag comes out for a spin by the 55 of Drew Eldridge.
Catch it, and I see it on the screen, and I switch to you. And as soon as I do, you keep moving the camera. You've got to stay.
Eldridge in trouble and gets the car refired and will rejoin the rear of the field.
You move the camera really fast away.
Drew Eldridge, the grandson of the great Bill Eldridge, New England Auto Racing Hall of Fame. And, of course, Bill Eldridge, the original champion of the NEMA Midgets back in 1953. Also the champion in 1954, 57, 58. He was a multi-time winner in the NEMA Midgets, and the family tradition carries on with Drew Eldridge in the number 55. Oh, trouble coming to the start as Chris Vos runs into the back of Ethan Dion as they get ready for the green flag, and there it is. Green flag, a tough break for Vos, who climbed up over the wheel of Ethan Dion. Meanwhile, up front, Avery Storr comes away with the lead at the restart. Storr, the new leader, in the 10. Bailey goes to second. Mike Perniciglio running third. Our early leader, Braden Egan, in the fourth spot. Fifth is the 16 of Dan Cugini. And just outside the top 5, Randy Cabral in the 47. Avery Storr setting the pace in the number 10. All by himself in second, Joey Bailey in the 21, and a comfortable third for Mike Perniciglio. So those front three have put a little cushion between the competitors and got a great run going here this afternoon, but we have a ways to go. Just 10 laps complete now out of the 50-lap feature. It's all Avery Storr right now. Joey Bailey gives chase. Mike Perniciglio third, and a comfortable third. Danny Cugini is broken out into fourth. And trouble for Drew Eldridge again in the 55. This time he spins over between the first and second turn in the 55. Obviously, with some handling issues on that car as he spins again. This time ends up against the Jersey barriers down on the bottom of the racetrack between the first and second turn, or just right there in the second turn. Going to need a little bit of a push to get back. These NEMA lights, different than the other NEMA midgets in the fact that these cars are self-starting. They have clutches and starters, unlike the NEMA midgets, which have to be pushed to be started. And the difference between the two, mainly in horsepower. NEMA lights a little lighter on power, a little less expensive to operate than the NEMA midgets, but they are fast, and pretty much the chassis are the same. These cars mainly run 180 horsepower Ford Focus engines with clutches and starters, unlike the other NEMA midgets. That adds to their overall weight, but the chassis are basically the same as the NEMA midgets. NEMA lights now in their 16th season with the Northeastern Midget Association, and a very successful class. They run a lot of independent shows, such as the one this afternoon, and other times they are doubled up on the same program with the NEMA midgets, as we were last Saturday night at the Waterford Speed Bowl in Waterford, Connecticut. Schedule-wise, the NEMA lights and the NEMA midgets move on to the Wiscasset Speedway on the shores of Maine, Wiscasset, Maine. That is next Saturday, and then 1 week from next Wednesday, the NEMA lights are at the Seekonk Speedway for their open wheel Wednesday with the modifieds. Set for the restart, 10 complete of the 50-lap Jim O'Brien Memorial. Avery Storr and Joey Bailey in the front row. Green flag. Look at the jump that Albie Ovitt makes. Goes to the inside, picks up a couple of spots, but Mike Perniciglio trying to take it right back. Perniciglio down hard into turn number 3. Can't quite pull alongside Ovitt, as now Ovitt goes to work on Randy Cabral and takes the spot away. Albie Ovitt gets up to 4th. So the Parker Brothers cars in 1st and 4th, with Joey Bailey in 2nd, Danny Cugini 3rd, then Albie Ovitt 4th, and Randy Cabral rounds out the top 5. On the move is Chase Locke. He just drove around Paul Scally. That puts him up to 7th in the number 1. But up front, it's all Avery Storr, hooked up and on the move here this afternoon in that number 10. Bailey trying to keep pace, but remains about 5 car lengths off the lead. Danny Cugini with a good run going in 3rd. Albie Ovitt is 4th, and Randy Cabral round out the top 5. A spin in the 4th turn. That's the dangerous one, Paul Scally. Scally gets turned around in turn 4, as he was well inside the top 10. But unfortunately spins in the 4th turn. Is able to keep going, but will have to rejoin the rear of the field. We're on lap 16 of the Jim O'Brien Memorial Race, and appropriately enough, lap 16 sponsored by the O'Brien family. And we see the O'Brien car running in the third spot with Danny Cugini, the driver, as they will double them up for the restart, very quickly checking the lineup and getting them back into place. We can go green next time. Let's see if Joey Bailey's got anything for Avery Storr. Bailey, multi-time TQ midget winner, and of course still does that when he's not driving the Scrivani number 21 for Lenny Boyd. Ready for the restart. Green flag. And Albiova tried to make a move underneath Joey Bailey, and it just wasn't there. He got crossed up, luckily able to get that car back under control, but lost a little ground to our leaders. Albiova running third, and Joey Bailey is in the Parker Brothers sandwich right now, as the 10 and the 20 running first and third. Danny Cugini in the fourth spot. There is the 47 of Randy Cabral rounding out the top five. Then it's Mike Perniciglio and Chase Locke. Also on the move, Kyle Valeri. Valeri in the 17, working the inside of Chase Locke, trying to take that spot away. They are side by side in a great battle for sixth, or rather seventh. And Kyle Valeri gets there. Valeri goes to seventh, Chase Locke is eighth, and Dylan Kutu, who was facing the wrong way not all that long ago. Kutu up to the ninth spot. It's all Avery Storr out of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Closing in on the halfway mark of the O'Brien Memorial 50-lapper for the NEMA Lights. And there it is, 25 down and 25 to go. Avery Storr continues the pace. Joey Bailey remains with 4 or 5 car lengths behind, and then another 6 or 8 back to Albiova in the 20. Danny Cugini all by himself in 4th. Randy Cabral alone in 5th. Kyle Valeri has broken out to go to 6th, and up to 7th is Dylan Kutu in the 53. Now we'll watch Avery Storr pick his way through some of the back markers now, ready to put some of the competitors down a lap. Here's Avery behind Chris Vos. That allows Joey Bailey to catch right up. And Bailey gets the nose down underneath Avery Storr. It's a race for the lead as they work the lap traffic. That has been a deciding factor here as they're trying to put the 55 of Drew Eldridge down a lap. Bailey's going to go low. Avery goes high. They split the lap car, and Avery's able to hold on, but Bailey hangs tough, gets the nose down underneath. A wrestling match for the lead. Bailey on the bottom. They're about to come to Ethan Dion, the lap car. Let's see what happens when they get there. Dion, and Bailey up over the wheel of Ethan Dion. And the yellow comes out. Tough break. Lap traffic not yielding to the leaders. And that causes a problem.
What happened there?
It takes out Joey Bailey, who was in the battle for the lead. They had split the lap car. With Bailey on the inside. and Store on the outside.
Bailey.
And obviously trying to do the same thing. Lap cars are supposed to go to the bottom and move out of the way of the leaders. But at this point, the 8 had one car on the outside and one on the inside. And that car
Dion,
on the inside,
oh,
Joey
and
Bailey,
Bailey.
is able to drive away,
Up-
ironically.
Dion,
after he
oh,
took a
and
wild
Bailey.
ride up over
the wheel
left
of Ethan.
rear wheel of Ethan Dion's number 8. Let's see, Bailey is going to stay on the track. I thought maybe he'd go to the pits, but instead he will stay on the track and go to the back. So the closest competitor to Avery Store, who's been leading this thing for a while, was Joey Bailey, who was giving him a run for the money, but Bailey gets crossed up, and now Bailey will go to the pits to get that car looked at. And it might be a little more serious than originally thought because they're putting Speedy Dry down over there. And that could be a big problem for the Scrivani number 21. So now the Parker Brothers cars run 1 and 2. Avery Store in the 10. Albie Ovitt in the number 20. Danny Cugini in the 16. Running third. Fourth is the 47 of Randy Cabral. Fifth is the 17 of Kyle Valeri. And then just out of the top 5, Dylan Kutu in the 53. Mikey Perniciglio in the 28. And Paul Scally, who has rebounded from his spin, in the number 30. We're on the 33rd lap of the 50 lap
Dion,
Jim
oh,
O'Brien
and
Memorial.
Bailey. Up,
This lap
Dion,
sponsored in
oh,
memory of
and
Al
Bailey.
Killian, the great Nina
up
driver.
over the wheel of Ethan.
And Vosi Motorsports, the team behind Chris Vos, number 30, also a sponsor of lap number 33. Vos, of course, Chris Vos in the 3. And Vosi Motorsports, a sponsor of lap 33, which is where we are right now in the NEMA 50 lap feature. Well, Joey Bailey able to make it back out in the number 21 at the rear of the field. Just 17 laps left to the feature event. It's been all Avery Store here for most of the race in the number 10. Now he's going to get some competition from his teammate, Albie Ovitt, in the number 20. Don't count out Danny Cucini in the O'Brien number 16. Danny was the winner of the opening race for the NEMA Lights at the Monadnock Speedway back at the beginning of May. Randy Cabral up there, the second winner of the season, now is inside the top 5. Kyle Valeri in the 17. Dylan Kutu with a great recovery after his spin in the number 53. He is up in the 6th spot. Mike Perniciglio 7th. Paul Scally is 8th. Braden Egan is 9th. And Matt O'Brien 10th in the number 61. So they will double them up now for the restart. 33 complete in the O'Brien Memorial 50 lapper for the NEMA Lights. A lot of action so far in the first 33 laps. Let's see what the last 17 have for us. Avery Storr, the champion of the NEMA Midgets in his NEMA Light Ride, restarts from the front, and Albie Ovitt right alongside. Here they come. Avery gets a good start, gets the jump on Albie. Here comes Randy Cabral on the outside of Danny Cugini in the race for third. And Cabral's able to make the pass. Cabral goes to third. Right on the back bumper is Danny Cugini, and right there with them is Kyle Valeri. Avery Storr got back into the lead and starts to open it up. Back to now a 3, call it 4 car length lead over Albie Ovitt. Randy Cabral in the third spot, and here comes Kyle Valeri working over Danny Cugini. Oh, they get together. Kyle a little in there, a little hot, and got together with Danny Cugini. Cugini not too happy about that, but he was able to recover as both of those cars got a little squirrely, and he's able to hold on to the 4th spot. Valeri 5th, Dylan Kutu 6th, Chase Locke up to 7th in the number 1. But it's all Avery Storr. Hooked up and driving away up front in the number 10. Albie Ovitt by himself in second. Randy Cabral in a comfortable third. Danny Cugini in the 16 is fourth. Slicing through the field and getting back into the top 10 is Joey Bailey in the number 21. Bailey, who was battling for the lead just a few laps ago until that mishap, is up to the 9th spot now in the number 21. Does Albie Ovitt have anything for Avery Storr? Avery on rails right now. Albie's picked up about a car length, but the laps are winding down. Avery Storr by a couple of car lengths. Albie going as hard as he can, getting into the turn a little bit better, but Avery's able to pull him on the straightaway. They may encounter some lap traffic. Now with only 5 laps to go, coming up around to the number 3 of Chris Vos and the 55 of Drew Eldridge. 4 laps to go, and yeah, they got to pick their way through this lap traffic. Avery trying to decide whether to go high or low. Here comes Alvey with a look down on the inside. Can't get it done. 3 laps to go. Avery will go low, and so will Albie. They both go on the low side of the lap traffic. 2 laps to go. Albie Ovitt right there on the back bumper of Avery Storr, but time is running out. White flag goes in the air. 1 more lap left for the O'Brien Memorial. Here's Albie Ovitt with a look to the outside. Can't get it done out of turn 2. And the caution flag. Yellow is out. 21 in trouble. Joey Bailey. Caution is out. So we're under yellow. Joey Bailey with a problem in the number 21. He had fought his way back inside the top 10. And just as we thought we were coming to the checkered flag, a pretty good battle shaping up between Avery Storr in the 10 and Albie Ovitt in the 20. So the scoreboard is reset to 48 laps as the caution came out just about the time they were going to get the white flag. So we're back to lap 48 with a little bit of drama here in the final stages of the Jim O'Brien Memorial. Lap 48 sponsored by Bertrand Motorsports. Lap 49 by Kibbe Racing. And lap 50 sponsored by the Derek Perniciglio Show. So Avery Store will have to withstand another restart. And Albie Ovitt chomping at the bit. And some lucky fan is going to win $100 if you have the yellow ball of the car number that wins. And we're going to find that out 2 laps from now. Avery Store and Albie Ovitt. Team cars ready to duke it out for the win. Here they come. Green flag. Avery gets a good start. Albie trying to stay with him. Here's Danny Cugini with a move up on the outside of Randy Cabral. Cabral trying to come back. He gets over the wheel of Cugini and into Dylan Kutu. Kutu gets drop kicked back several spots, but we're on the last lap. Coming to the checkered flags, and Avery Store will hold on to win it. Albie Ovitt for second. Danny Cugini third. Kyle Valeri fourth. Oh, and hard into the wall is Dylan Kutu as they mix it up at the end. Kutu slams the wall right at the pit entrance. Right at the end as they were all jockeying for position. We're going to go trackside and talk to our top 3, but right now we're concerned about the driver of the 53, Dylan Kutu. We have come trackside for our post-race interviews. Of course, our concerns remain with the crew working up in the right at the pit entrance where the 53 ended up against the wall. But down here in Victory Lane, we have some happy winners of the Jim O'Brien Memorial, and that includes Avery Store, who had him covered. A little bit of competition there from your teammate as you were negotiating through the lap traffic, but you held on.
There was a lot of competition there. I mean, I was lucky enough to be out front for a majority of that race, but there was always somebody there reminding me that these aren't easy to win. I'm just really happy to have a great team behind me. You know, we had a tough start to the year, and Jackie and Jimmy, everybody, they never lost faith in me, and I'm glad that we were able to put the work in and get this car back to where it needs to be.
Extra distance race, twice the distance that you normally go. That's a long time to stay out front.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to get a little out of shape, but man, these races are a lot of fun. I really like this track. Lucky enough, we won this 2 years in a row now, and I just love coming back here.
Well, you made the family excited. They're all here to join you in Victory Lane.
Oh yeah, it's great. Happy Father's Day to everybody that's here. I'm very fortunate to be a father myself, and it's my son's 3rd birthday tomorrow. I'm just very thankful to be where I'm at.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is Avery Store. He's in Victory Lane for the NEMA Lights to win the O'Brien Memorial. and somebody's going to win $100. Who's got the yellow? Come on down here. Whoever's got the number 10 yellow ball, which is right here, you're going to get $100. Let's get everybody all lined up here. First of all, who are you?
Chris Cashman,
Chris, where are you from?
Danvers, Mass.
Well, you caught that yellow ball when Dennis O'Brien shot him into the crowd, and you caught the ball with the number 10 on it. So Avery has $100 cash for you. Oh, and he's counting it out one by one. Look at that. $100. Congratulations from the O'Brien family. Get those guys to get a picture. Now, somewhere around here is our second place finisher. And we'll get a word with him. Albie Ovitt, great race for you, and you came so close.
Yeah, this is 3 seconds in a row, but I'm pumped for Avery and the Parker brothers. 1-2 finish today is pretty awesome and shows how good of a team we have here. And Avery's been struggling, so I'm happy for him today.
Well, talk about that, the late stage of the race where you actually got up there and challenged him on the outside.
Yeah, they threw the white, and I knew I had to make one last-ditch effort at it, and I did. We got next to him, and I think if we had stayed green, it would have been a show to the finish line, but we just weren't as good as him on the restarts. But I'm more than thrilled with the second. Like I said, 3 in a row, and we're just going to try to carry the momentum into Wiscasset next week.
Nice going.
Thank you.
Albie Ovitt comes in second place. And third place, the driver of the third place, who's also celebrating Father's Day, is Danny Cugini, who's very happy father right now.
Oh, yeah, I got my 11-month-old, and, it's great to see her in Victory Lane with us here. Hats off to Avery's one of my best friends, and, a lot of respect for their team and Albie. And, Jimmy and Jackie put together some really nice cars. So, this was my car owner's memorial race, and he put a lot of effort into it, and I'm just really happy to be up here with these guys in Victory Lane. So hats off to the car owner, Dennis and Alicia. And, the whole crew just, they crushed it today. The car was pretty good all day, and wish we got a couple more.
Well, we're gonna fight over the microphone here, I think. Well, you pick up a nice award from the O'Brien family, and you did a great job for them today.
Thank you. Can't be happier. And Blakely here seems to be pretty happy, too.
Congratulations. Happy Father's Day to Danny Cugini. That's our top 3 as they ran today in the O'Brien Memorial. And we gave a lucky fan $100 on top of that. So this has turned out to be a good race for sure. Still concerned about what's going on over there by the pit entrance, but we've got people celebrating down here for the O'Brien Memorial 50-lapper won by Avery Storr.
Well, we did get word that down in turn 1 that the driver, Dylan Kutu, did walk away from that race car and to the ambulance to be checked, so that is all that we can hope for after a scary accident like that up in turns 1 and 2. What a great race put on by the NEMA Midgets, the NEMA Lights. Northeastern Midget Association, great crew, great crowd, great car count, and a great race to top off a great Father's Day Sunday here at the Hudson High Banks. That will conclude racing action here today. We want to thank you all for coming out today and having a great time with us. All you fathers, once again, happy Father's Day. We hope we put on a good show for all of you. Don't forget, next Sunday, 1 o'clock start time, the 25th annual running of the Mighty Mike Lewis Memorial for the Northeast Auto Import Late Models. That's going to be a huge race, so you're going to make sure you're going to want to be here. 1 o'clock next week. Gates will open at 11. Practice rounds will start at noon, and they will go along with the New England Dwarf Cars, Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners, and the MLM Diagnostic Services Pure Stocks. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that is all next Sunday afternoon here at Hudson International Speedway. On behalf of your track owner, Ben Bazowski, your general manager, Steve Grand, and all of us here at the track, my name is John S. Burnett, the voice of the Hudson International Speedway, reminding you that this is not goodbye, but a see you next time. Speed safely.